This episode of the Grand Rising Show was brought to you by Autochthonous Assembly, where the real work gets done. Autochthonous Assembly is a gathering of the minds that do the work. Now, for many of our first time subscribers and first time visitors, you may be wondering who Autochthonous Assembly are. You can find this information about our mission statement and our core values on the website at autochthonousassembly.com/about. We are a nonprofit organization dedicated to raising up Indigenous American voices by using genealogy, also known as family history, or your family tree, which is the study of families and the tracing of their lineages and history. Genealogists use oral interviews, historical records, genetic analysis, and other records to obtain information about a family and to demonstrate kinship and pedigrees of its members. Our core values are the foundation of our company, which is essential to our success and serve as a lens through which we evaluate every business decision. Those core values are, but are not limited to, integrity, which is knowing and doing what is right; respect, which is treating others the way you want to be treated; responsibility, which is embracing opportunities to contribute; and servant leadership, which is serving the common good. Now, at Autochthonous Assembly, we have a couple of goals here. And our first goal and foremost of the reason why we do everything that we do is to ensure that we help you do your genealogy and connect back to your tribe and find out where you are from. Everything that we do from the standpoint of the Grand Rising Show and all the information that's posted on the website is dedicated to that one specific purpose: helping you find your genealogy, find your relatives, find your family so that you will know exactly who you are. And if you choose to, tie back into your tribe, whether that tribe is a Native American tribe, an American Indian tribe, whether it's allowing you to determine which house in Africa that you belong to, or what clan of Scandinavia or Europe or France that you belong to. Either way, our goal is to do just that: help you find out who you are so you know exactly where to start. We are not here to tell you who you are, and we're not here to tell you who you are not. We're just here to help you discover your beginnings. Another one of our missions is to help you become financially independent so that you can help your generations for the next 7 generations and be able to put a stable foundation for you and your relatives. And if you should choose to use this information that we provide free of charge to help not only yourself, but your community and your tribe, then we will do everything in our power to make sure that gets done as well. And remember, our goal here is to make sure that we help you get exposed to this information to put you in the best situation possible. So now what I'm going to do now is return it back over to the panel to see if there was anything I missed, and I will go ahead and get set up so we can get ready and get digging into this information. Panel, take it away.
Warning, warning, warning. Hard hats, pickaxe, shovels, boots required.
Grand Rising, everybody. Hopefully everyone's doing well this rising. How's everyone doing?
Grand Rising.
Gabby Gabs.
TMH.
Really?
I thought we were doing the whole excited thing.
I'm always excited. My excitement just shows differently than most.
Yeah, you said Gabby Gabs. I threw the TMH, energy, and then you just really.
I just killed it. We're gonna try that again. Gabby, 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 Gabby. No, okay, never mind.
TMH.
Oh, now you sound like Eeyore. So that's what we doing. Okay.
I thought we were going. You said let's do it again, so
This is not opposite day. This is not opposite day. This is not
I
what we
thought we were
doing.
changing it.
No, that's not what we doing. It's not what we doing.
All right.
It's going Grand Rising, everyone. Hopefully everyone's doing well. And y'all see y'all favorite. What are we gonna call you today?
Look, don't call me nothing but. Don't. Matter of fact, I was gonna say nothing but the names that you called me already. But some of them names, I don't want them. I don't want them. I don't want it. You were fine.
You're investigating your favorite investigatory award, investigatory journalist.
It is now. You done said it.
That's right. I said it. I have decreed it. It has been decredited. How about
And as such, it shall be.
Don't actually repeat that. Investigatory journalist. Your favorite investigatory journalist. Gabby Gabs. Yeah, y'all see she already on one, so don't ask her no questions because you might not like the answer.
Man, that's not even true. Don't see.
Don't feed that.
Although I am learning that I may possibly sound a certain way by paying attention to the responses or
You may sound.
And that's only because I'm not sure yet, because if when you repeat back to me what I've said in your sarcastic way, it doesn't give me a sense of realness of what it actually is.
Sarcastic. Okay. So, Grand Rise, everybody. And I think I broke the music channel. So that's why we don't hear any music. So Bones is fixing that, or he's working on that. So when that comes back up and when that's available, I'll let y'all know. But for right now, yeah, we stuck with the silence in the background for now.
Ooh.
But it's okay.
Well, let me shut this back door for y'all hear the pots and pans monster.
Yeah, cause you be having some extra stuff going on over there. I know my chairs are haunted. They be squeaking, but yeah, you be having some stuff going on over there.
Nah, it'd be the kennels and the dogs and stuff. Kennels and dogs, oh my.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work.
Don't do that.
So, peace, everybody. Happy Thursday. It's Thursday, right? The Friday, as Los Angeles would say.
Oh, it is Thursday.
All day.
Man.
It is until it's not. Yeah, sure is. Yep, that day.
How can we tell time?
Peace to the new subscribers. Peace to the new registrants on the website, the new subscribers on YouTube. Definitely appreciate your energy and your vibe and you coming on and joining us, because it could have been anywhere that you wanted to be. It could have been anywhere that you chose to be, but you chose to spend your time with us, and we definitely appreciate it. Whether you are doing something in your community or you're a looky-loo trying to take back information to your massa. Either way, we appreciate you. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that? Was I being petty?
I just want to say, Guado, Doodoo Vision.
Peace, Doodoo Vision. Yeah, you ripped it out. You knocked it out the park last night, this rising with the Chichen Itza and the Cocoon. Yeah, that was good stuff.
Yeah, you did, Doodoo Vision. I'm on the cliff hanging. I need this story to finish, and I don't think I read enough.
She don't think she read enough.
I
Oh, okay.
know I didn't. I know I didn't. Look, I went outside. I looked up at the stars, and I'm like, okay. So, and I'm replaying in my mind. Okay, Do Vision said this. And I was like, okay, I read this, and I'm looking at the stars to see if it's gonna just click. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm on a cliffhanger.
So you actually pull out a mirror to look at yourself being on a cliffhanger? Hmm. That's what you
Well,
did. That's
if I was on a cliffhanger, where would I pull
Join the
this mirror
meeting.
from?
I'm not. Do I gotta do this? I don't wanna do this. I don't wanna play no
No, no,
more.
no. I'm just curious. Where would I pull that mirror from?
I don't know, your pocket? I don't know where you keep mirrors.
Right, because I'm a girl and girls walk around with mirrors.
You would know better than I would. I mean, I'm just saying you would. I don't know what to tell you.
Right, right. I forgot. Yeah, all girls walk around with mirrors.
But I'm not talking about all girls. I'm just talking about you.
Right, I would walk around with the mirror. That makes sense.
I mean, don't it? No.
Absolutely not.
Anyway, peace and grand rising to the silent majority. Hopefully, y'all are holding people to the fire and continue to do your
To the
work.
fire.
And we thank you for we thank you for the additions to the forum and the emails that you send us. So appreciate you. And to the best chat on earth, whether it's on a Toxins Assembly website or it's in YouTube. We definitely appreciate y'all coming in, setting the record straight, keeping everybody on point, making sure everybody doing what they're supposed to do. So appreciate you. Bounce, what's going on, bro?
Bones Grand Rising.
He's still getting situated.
It probably would have helped if I would have unmuted myself.
You think? You think just a little bit? No? Okay. But you
I mean, ain't
did.
nobody do nothing, but can't nobody hear me.
You know what? It may not have been you. It might have been TMH. That unsuspecting mute button.
Come on, man. Y'all gonna blame me for.
Man, look. Look.
No, it was me. Didn't press star 6.
See how that works. You ain't gonna be blaming
I
me
guess
for.
I was listening to David Corey and just started hearing pound, 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 and wondering why.
See, he had no sellout playing in his head. Pound, pound.
Pound, pound. Oh.
Do Division was talking about that yesterday. Pound, pound.
Mm-hmm.
He said hashtag sounds too soft. I'm just saying so.
Pound 6, huh?
No.
Why they ain't answering my question?
All right, so let's go ahead and do this roll call. Bones, you know you didn't confuse me and everybody in the chat because now you got two chats. You got a chat that you can pop out, then you got the chat the new chat that you put in. And I'm under the impression based off of those that are typing, they like the new chat that you put in. So.
Well, I'm
That's
confused.
just the chat. That's gonna be the chat for the show, and the global chat is still there.
Oh.
What happened was, like I said before, it was kind of funny. WordPress do their updating for their security. So, normally when that happens, a lot of plugins and stuff you use don't work, until the people do their upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
I guess all the fussing I did, they decided to upgrade it after I installed it installed a whole new chat for the show. So like I'm gonna let both of them stay, one for the show and the global chat for all over the website. But they work the same way. Once you logged into the forums, you logged into both chats.
Okay,
Oh, okay, okay.
so now we got two chats. We got a forum chat and we got a website chat. So I'm gonna read from
So
both chats. Go ahead,
wait,
Kevin.
wait, wait. The one that's at the bottom of the screen of the Cab Grand Rising show, that's the forum chat, right?
That's the global chat for the website, yeah.
Okay, so the one that can pop up that looks like the chat that used to be at the bottom of the screen of the Cab Grand Rising show, that's the forum chat?
No. You have the forum where you have your own custom page where you can send messages to each other. You have the
Okay.
global chat, which is the green, what pops up on any at the bottom of any page on of the website that you're on. Then you
Okay.
have the chat for the show, which is only on the Cab Grand Rising show page. So there's technically
Oh.
three separate chats in one, but they're all combined. So that way, because when I was thinking about it, a lot of people use the global chat to communicate back and forth to each other. So that one's going to stay. And then it gives us a way of separating the show from people, from people personal conversations and things like that. Make it more
Right.
comfortable for people to use it to communicate with each other throughout the day.
So
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 I'll
basically.
never be alone.
Mm.
That sounds like you want me to be. God, don't be me. Don't be cruel. Cause I would never be that cruel to you.
The more you sing, the more cruel you appear to
You
be.
know, you know.
Oh Lord, there we go with the there go ad lib and the background singer. Y'all don't like me. I'm thoroughly convinced. Can't get no replacement. Y'all singing. Got blocked 15 chats.
We like you, TMH the train.
You know what? So I'm gonna do the roll call from all the chats. How about that?
Oh shoot.
Yeah, I said it. So Grand Rising and peace to Bones, to Big Hawk, Copper Colored Ancestor, Dat Boy Wig, Doodoo Vision, Phoenix Rose, aka Ving Rhames, Nature's Void, and then we have who else we have over here? Big Nelson, Grand Rising and peace, Feather Dragon, Grand Rising and peace, Michael Harris Brown Cheek, Grand Rising in peace. And if I forgot, oh, Mr. TJ. Mr. TJ, okay, if I say you ain't signed in nowhere, how I see you? Mr. TJ and Celestial Love, Grand Rising in peace. If I missed you, just let me know. Say, hey, you forgot me. And I'll
You
get you.
forgot Doodoo Vision.
I said James Doodoo Vision.
Okay.
I said that. I
Forgot
said, hey,
Pamela Hall.
Pamela Hall's, you know what? We're going to do this skit. We're going to do this bit every Rising. Hmm.
Liz Robinson.
Mayan Sun
Ohio
091.
Player.
They're not. You know what?
Golden Moon. Carrie Bay. Copper Indio.
Go ahead, keep going.
Joe 47.
Keep going.
Okay. David Corey. I hear a sound bite. You know what? I'm done. I'm done.
What you mean you hear a sound like? What you talking about?
I hear something. You done, son. I'm done.
I know not what you speak.
Okay, yeah, that.
Mm,
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
I don't know what you talking about, y'all.
You
But
know how there's a stick-up kid? You a set-up kid.
who me?
Yes, you. You are a set-up kid.
Nah, not me. I wouldn't do that.
Okay, no, you know what? The lies you tell.
Okay, I would.
I know.
Yeah, that was a soundbite.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Mhm. I mean, it adds
Yes, you
character.
are mean.
It adds character to the show, especially now since I done broke the music channel. We gotta have something, right? Like, what's that about? I don't know. I
I
couldn't
think
tell
the
you.
moving emojis are enough. No more setups from you. No more setups.
You said no more. You just gonna take away all my fun. All right, fine then. Guess it's time to hit the clock so we can get to work. Fair enough.
Did you put the link in the chat?
I'm gonna hit the clock and we gonna get to work. And I'll put the information in the chat.
So
Fair.
you just gonna clock in before you ready for work.
You can't do any work until you clock in. You do realize that, right? I don't know how I work where you work, but where I work, you gotta clock in first. 'Cause that's what you mean when you're on the clock. So let's hit this clock. All right. What's wrong with them? What is wrong with them, y'all? I have no idea what is going on here. But with that being said,
You broke the clock?
I broke the what?
Did you break the clock too?
No. Why you ask that question?
Because you said, what is going on?
Um, I put the link in the chat. And I'll put it in this chat too. Mm-hmm. All right. So will you be reading for us this rising, Miss Gabby?
Okay, I'm pulling it up.
You talked all that smack and you're not ready.
You told me I couldn't work until you hit the clock.
See, that's why we don't ask Gabby any questions. Mm-hmm.
No, I'm trying to. Okay, never mind. It's working. It's working.
Yesterday we didn't cover any of the
Not a single one.
I think we got to the first sentence, second sentence. No?
we got to the
I don't even
colonization.
think we put. I don't even think we put the link in the chat yesterday.
No, we didn't put the link in the chat yesterday.
Nope.
We went straight in on Chief Wars, um, Phoenix Moon, and scammers, and we stayed on that subject the whole evening. So we
So
definitely
the
gonna.
dude, yeah, the one with the braids, one call himself a chief, baby oil man, and all the rest. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, man.
You know, baby oil is made out of gasoline.
It's
Blame on.
it's a byproduct of petroleum. Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
Yes, petroleum is also where you get your plastics from. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So We stopped on
Americas. Spanish colonization of the Americas.
right. So
We
if
did
you,
not get past the first sentence.
we did get past. Well, no, we did not.
No, we did not.
And then
All
what?
because of that word primary and events.
So basically, what you're saying all because of Gabby.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Because
whoa.
that's what sent you on. That's what
Let's
sent.
hold off on the
No,
accusations.
no,
You
no, no.
know,
I
when you
was
point a finger, you have three pointing back at you.
yes, and if you have if you have four hands, you have six pointing back at you. Um,
Who's Christian? Like, what? Who has four hands? What's happening right now? What is happening?
let's focus, Gabby.
Okay, I'm focused. Focus, man.
And the next sentence reads, which which basically ties right into what we're talking about is that there are multiple 16th century narratives of the events of Spanish conquistadors.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'll read. Let's get serious. Okay. I'm reading.
She hit him
There
with
are
the
multiple.
Jermaine Jackson. They ain't ready. Go ahead.
I wasn't ready. Okay. 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 There are multiple 16th century narratives of the events by Spanish conquerors. Oh, that says conquerors.
Conquerors, yeah.
Yeah, but when I put my cursor over the link, it says conquistadors were the knights, soldiers, and explorers of the Spanish Empire and the Portuguese Empire
Well, they
during the
probably
age.
it was right. It was probably a mis. It was a misquote, mistype. I mean, people make mistakes. It happens. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I thought Africa wasn't necessarily called Africa until the 1800s.
Late 1800s, early 1900s.
Right, we're in 1519, 1521.
So they've taken editorial liberties that they should not have taken. But yeah,
When was Asia called Asia?
I'm not sure.
When she was born,
You know what? I can't. I can't. I can't.
No, because it says during the age of discovery, conquistadors sailed beyond Europe to the Americas, Oceania, Africa, and Asia, conquering territory and opening up trade routes. So if they're opening up trade routes, that means that they weren't there before, right?
So you talking about the Spanish conquistadors? Is that what you're talking about? Is that what you're
Um,
reading, or where are you reading from?
I'm reading from my computer, and yes, the Spanish conquistadors, where it says Spanish conquerors.
Yeah, I'm okay. So
I'm on Spanish conquest of Aztec Empire.
can you start raising your voice at me, please? Do the vision for the chat, Asia Jenkins. Why my last name gotta be Jenkins or Johnston? So about the
Jinkies.
some. Ooh, yeah, don't do that. So the reason why I was asking is because I'm trying to show the people in the chat what you're reading.
Oh, put your cursor over Spanish conquerors.
Yes, I've already clicked on it now. I just need to know where you were at. Yeah, I've actually opened up the whole page.
Okay, well, I'm at the first period in the second sentence.
Why are these sentences so daggone long? So you in the second paragraph?
No, I said sentence. Sentence is a line.
A sentence ends when there's a period in it, correct?
Correct. A paragraph begins when you see a period and then a space.
So
It's
okay, Queen Smarty Pants. So so the second so the
first paragraph,
second
second
sentence.
sentence.
Is that where you ended, or is that where you're starting?
That's where I ended.
So if you okay, so where is that? What's the last word of the
That
second?
I read,
Mm-hmm.
routes.
Mm-hmm. So let me see if I see any periods in that sentence.
Do you
Oh, okay.
see Americas, Oceania, Africa, and Asia?
Mm-hmm.
And then you see a comma,
Mm-hmm.
and where it says conquering territory and opening up trade routes.
Mm-hmm.
You see that period?
Yep.
That's where I'm at.
Got it. See, teamwork makes a dream
Come
work.
on.
But the thing that I found that was interesting is one, they use Africa in this sentence, which they shouldn't have, because we know that Africa didn't exist during this time. The term Africa did not exist at this time. Also, too, there was no Spanish discoveries of the West Indies in 1492 because Spain did not exist in 1492. And when we go back to the first paragraph of the Spanish conquest of the Aztecs, it said there are multiple 16th century narratives of the Spanish conquistadors. So that means there are different versions of the story.
Well, apparently, Asia didn't come out until, okay, the word Asia or originated from the ancient Greek word or, yep, can't say that. First attributed to Herodotus about 440 BCE in reference to Anatolia or the Persian Empire in contrast to Greece and Egypt. It originally was just a name for the east bank of the Aegean, excuse me, Aegean Sea, an area known as the Hittites as Asua. So Egypt, what we know now, or Egypt, what it actually was then?
That's a good question. But again, because there's so many different narratives, what we need to find out is what did the people of Asia call Asia
I
at
got a
that time?
question.
Go ahead.
Um, so with everything that we are reading and how they categorize, Asia, Africa, Europe, um, um, the Americas, Australia, and all these different places, they're referencing to what it is now. But okay, what if it's also referencing to small portions or small parts of land masses to what they were called then also?
And that's the reason why timelines are important because it's important for us to know what these places call themselves. Because the person writing the story or the person narrating the story calls it what they want to call it. But that's not necessarily what the name is. So it's like when they make reference to African Americans in the 1500s. That's a narrative that's created by the people that's writing the story or editorializing the story. There couldn't have been no African Americans then, because according to history and according to the census, there wasn't even an option to self-identify as African American until 2000. Jesse Jackson didn't even propose it until 1988. So there's no way in the world that that term should be even in this in any doctrine before 2000. But that's not. But the point is that we need to make sure that we're always locked up in control of what these countries and what these people are calling themselves, so as not to get tied up or misguided or misinformed or be trapped in the ideology that's being perpetuated. Basically, so we won't fall for the banana in the tailpipe and the indoctrination. So what's this you put in the chat?
A link.
Okay, the names of the original names of the contents. Okay. So again, who's writing this? Who's the author? And is this what they said the people called it?
No, no, I got some type of video that popped up on my screen.
Let me go ahead and pull it up over here so people can see what I'm looking at. Because it says, today I found out the most likely origin of each of the continents' names using the 7 continent models. So it says most likely.
Right.
So that's not definitive. It says first on the list is Africa. There are many different theories as to the origin of Africa's name. After the Romans defeated Carthage, which is in modern-day Tunisia in northern Africa, in the Third Punic War, they called their new province Africa. They called their new province Africa. And
Which is the
they,
Romans.
right, but they were only referring to the first 2 states of Africa, which would be Algiers and Tangiers. But anyway, the most popular theory of the origin of the name is that it was named for the native tribe there, the Afri from Africa, when being the feminine form of Africa is literally meaning land of the Afri. So this is the most popular theory as the origin of the name is that it was named after the native tribe there. So did the native tribe call themselves Afri?
There is a small, even though Africa, the whole continent itself, is not called Africa, there is a small portion. I was looking at a map the other day. There is a small portion that's called Africa.
Yeah, Algiers and Tangiers. Two out of the 54 states.
And there you go.
We're saying the same thing. Which basically confirms that the whole continent was not called Africa at this time.
No. I'm saying like right now, there is a small... Okay, you said we're saying the same thing. So you're saying that there's a small portion of land that's called Africa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're saying the same thing. Okay, I get it. Never mind. My bad.
No, you're good. But the misconception or the narrative, if you will, is that the whole continent is called Africa, and that's what the people of that continent call it. When you talk to people from Africa, that's not what they call it.
Right.
So, again, who's not telling the truth? And why are they not telling the truth? Because it all goes back to 1492. See, 1492 is the foundation of the lie of our history. Without 1492, the whole foundation crumbles. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So, it all goes back to this part right here. It says there are multiple 16th century narratives of the events by Spanish conquerors, their indigenous allies, and the defeated Aztecs. Now, remember, James talked about their indigenous allies yesterday.
I got a 1492 was a leap year.
Okay, so what does that mean? I mean, I know what a leap year is, but what does that mean in reference to what we're talking about? And I'm not asking because I'm being sarcastic. I'm asking because I sincerely don't know.
Okay, Roman numerals. Okay, I'm just gonna put this link in the chat. Copy.
Okay, yeah.
So you're not fussing?
Really? So you don't went off on a tangent already, Gabby?
Okay, I'm going back. My bad. Okay, wait a minute. No. We gotta. Okay, let's get to the first paragraph. My bad. Hold on. Let me get past the first paragraph. Okay. Although, okay. I really want to read. Okay.
Go ahead. I mean, I can put it in so you can read. No, you sure?
There
You
are
sure?
multiple 16th century narratives of the events by Spanish conquerors. Their indigenous allies, and the defeated Aztecs. It was
Okay, Gabby, come back to us.
oh uh, it was not solely a contest between a small contingent of Spaniards Spaniards defeating the Aztec Empire, but rather the creation. Okay, so this has ruined me. Doodoo Vision ruined me to read this. They not just gonna put in here that I
Go on, keep going. What you got?
Doodoo Vision and mess with the church's money. Like I'm just saying the Aztecs were post classic period from 1300 to 1521, and post classic means Mayan. So like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
let me go ahead and finish reading this. I feel like saying a disclaimer.
I mean, but
Okay.
that's what you're supposed to do. Read the disclaimer. Make the correction. Yeah.
Yeah, what I am reading does not necessarily represent a Tashinist assembly or my thoughts, perspectives, opinions. Okay. Spaniards defeating the Aztec Empire. Okay, and putting my cursor over that, the Aztec Empire, or the Triple Alliance, was an alliance of 3 Nahuatl city-states: Mexico,
Tenochtitlan.
Tenochtitlan. Oh, that is an L. I keep seeing that as an I. Tenochtitlan, Texaco. Really? They got a gas? Okay. And
It's Texcoco.
yeah, but think about it. There's gas stations, Texaco gas stations that popped up all in the 80s
Mm-hmm.
with the star.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe okay. And what's that? Taclopan. These 3 city-states ruled the area in and around the Valley of Mexico from 1428 until the combined forces of the Spanish conquistadors. Okay, that's it. But rather the creation of the coalition of Spanish invaders with tributaries to the Aztecs. So tributary means they still had to respect where everything came from, right? The original.
You mean like paying tribute?
Yeah.
So what is a tributary?
Okay, I'll look it up.
Yeah, because I don't know.
Okay, so yeah, I was asking the question, thinking you'd give me the answer.
Don't do
So
that. I can give you an answer. That don't mean it's gonna be the right one.
tributaries. A tributary or affluent is a stream or river that flows. That can't be right. A stream or river, that can be right. Or river that flows into a larger stream or mainstream river or a lake. A tributary does not flow directly into a sea or ocean. Tributaries and the main stem river drain the surrounding drainage basin of its surface water and groundwater, leading the water out into an ocean. Okay, what did I just read?
What a tributary was. That's not what.
Right.
That's not what they're talking about.
Yeah, I
don't think so.
You can use the same definition both ways. A tributary as a tributary state, they take their finances and give it to the bigger state. Like an empire having smaller tributary areas that feed into one. That's what they mean by it.
Thank you, Bones.
Oh, thank you, Bones.
No problem.
So, with that being said, they had to pay tributaries to the Aztecs. Sounds like they never defeated the Aztec Empire.
Well, what happened was, after the Kokon got exiled to um, the islands, along with the harlot that
The Toltec.
yeah, yeah, the Toltec harlot. They got exiled to the Caribbean islands. That's where De Soto found La Malinche, and La Malinche gave De Soto the whole culture of the Maya, and that's why they came over. When he came over to the Yucatan as Kukulkan, they thought he was the returning of Kukulkan because he had the towels. So he basically converted them without a fight because they thought that he was basically, for lack of a better term, a returning Messiah. And then they started converting everybody.
Hold on. So okay. And this was when? 1500s. When what was the timeline that we read the other day when Christianity became on the rise? Just I need another pen.
In what area?
Africa. Going from France, French
Before
to
1492?
Yeah, that was
1492.
700 AD because now you're talking
Yeah, that
about
would be
the
700. Yeah.
yeah, but you got to realize the Crusades lasted a long time. There were multiple. Those were multiple wars. The Crusades. It just wasn't one war for one theater. There were multiple. Gabby.
Yes. Um okay. It was not solely a contest between a small contingent of Spaniards defeating the Aztec Empire, but rather the creation of a coalition of Spanish invaders with tributaries to the Aztecs, and most especially the Aztec indigenous enemies and rivals. Okay. They combined forces to defeat the Mexica of
Tino Titlan.
Techno
Tino Titlan.
Tenochtitlan
Tino Titlan.
Teno
Tino Titlan.
Tenochtitlan over a 2-year period. For the Spanish, the expedition to Mexico was part of a project of Spanish colonization of the New World after 25 years of permanent Spanish settlement and further exploration in the Caribbean.
Remember the bone. What James was saying is that they never had to. They never defeated the Maya. They never defeated these tribes. All they did was convert them to, for lack of a better term, a more Catholic version of their
Own
reverence.
religion,
Right.
belief, or yeah.
That's all they did. So instead of it, because the town and the cross looked the same. So as long as it was similar, they didn't care. They being in Spanish. So their goal was never to colonize them. Colonizing was not a Spanish thing. They just wanted to convert the Catholicism.
Yeah, they cared more about the conversion and work. They had what the what is it? The E. Oh, they come back to me. Brain just went blank.
Colonization was more of a French and Britain thing, and even well, France.
Even the French did it a little different than the
Yeah,
British.
yeah. The colonizations were different. They use the same term, but the process is different. The
Yeah,
colonization was
The British actually sent some people when everybody else was using the people of the land basically to do the work and stuff. The British started sending some of their own.
Right, to take control and start dictating how things were going to be. Because you got to remember, the French had been here for thousands of years, at least 1,000 years before the Spaniards got here. So that means they were already working and mixing in with the Indians of the North, which is the reason why you had such a variety or varied color of Indians up north, because the French had already mixed in. They didn't change anything. So you have three different versions of quote unquote colonization. The Spanish version was more or less, as long as y'all claiming Christianity, we gonna leave y'all alone, let y'all do what y'all do, and as long as y'all work and we get paid, y'all give us our tax money, be good. The French was more or less, well, we gonna come in and we're gonna marry up your women and we're gonna infiltrate that way and eventually work y'all over to wanting to be like us. More of a takeover by assimilating. And then you had the British. They just came in. They came in straight bullying. They came in Debo style. What you got on my 40, homie? What you got on my land? You can't speak your language. You're gonna do what we say do, and you're gonna work, and you're gonna like it. So even though they're using the term colonization to describe the actions, the activities, but all three activities were different. They weren't the same activities. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So hopefully I
And that's
described
where a
it
lot
well.
of confusion come in. A lot of confusion come in because of the three different parties' stories get overlaid.
Mm-hmm. So, Gabby, come back. Where you going?
Um, well, I'm looking at a map because I feel like no matter how many times I've seen a quote unquote world map, there are, let me go back to this.
The different versions of the world map.
Well, I get that,
Yep.
but so I kind of read ahead while you were talking.
Of course you did.
I apologize.
No, that's what Gabby Gabs do.
So I wanted to I wanted to see how I wanted to relook at the islands in relation to Mexico, because in this link, okay, let me read real quick. Aztecs okay, the combined forces to defeat the Mexica and Tenochtitlan over the year period. Okay, for the Spanish, the expedition to Mexico was part of a project, Spanish colonization of the New World, after 25 years of permanent Spanish settlement and further exploration in the Caribbean. Now, I wanted to see where the Caribbean, where the islands lined up in reference to
Yeah, I know you're not gonna see what you're looking for, but if you wanna look at something that look closely to what you're looking for, Gabby, look at the Pacific side.
Okay, see, and that's what I was looking for too, because on the following sentence it says, following an early expedition led by Juan Grijalva to Yucatan. When I scrolled over Yucatan, it says the Yucatan Peninsula in southeastern Mexico separates the Caribbean Sea from the Gulf of Mexico, with the northern coastline on the Yucatan Channel. The peninsula lies east of the TMH, a northwest geographic partition separating the region.
Well, see, Gabby, I can't read it because you didn't give me the link, so I don't know what you clicked on.
Spanish conquest of Aztec Empire. It's the same link you put in the chat.
So, oh, that's right, because you read ahead. So where are you at? What? You said you read ahead. I mean, We don't read. We don't read that fast. You know, we weed what you weed, and you wait. You wear it in silence.
Okay, I gotta stop doing that. You gotta help me stop doing
I
that.
gotta
I
help you stop
apologize.
doing it. It's
Yeah,
okay.
you gotta help me stop doing that.
So where we at?
Spanish conquest of Aztec Empire.
You know what?
What?
The paragraph. What paragraph?
Oh, second paragraph, first sentence.
Ooh. Don't ask Gavin no questions.
Shut up.
All right. Is there anything all right in the chat? Because I'm not seeing a whole lot of activity. Or is it just me?
Dude Vision says quantum leap year.
Okay, so it must be my chat. Do people get timed off for not responding? Yes, so. Anyway.
Oh, you get.
Alright, so following an early expedition by Juan, that's what you was reading. Juan de Grijalba to Yucatan. In 1518, Spanish letter Hernan Cortez led an expedition Entrada to Mexico. 2 years later, 1519, Cortez and his.
Oh no! You went past what I was reading.
So what was you reading?
Yucatan.
Yucatan. Why you say Yucatan like a succotash?
Suffering succotash.
Don't do that. So, yeah. Go ahead and finish reading.
Curious.
Mm-mm.
What is what are these land masses outside of Hawaii that
You can't see what you see.
oh, that's crazy. Now it disappears.
Gabby,
Yes.
what are you doing?
I'm looking at my computer.
Yeah, but we need you reading.
Oh, I apologize.
We are not
Okay,
in your head.
the following, led by Juan Grijalva of Yucatan in 1518, Spanish settler Hernan Cortez led an expedition, Estrada, to Mexico. 2 years later, in 1519, Cortez and his retinue set sail for Mexico. Following an earlier expedition. Okay, the Spanish campaign against the Aztec Empire had its final victory on 13th of August, 1521, when a coalition when a coalition army of Spanish forces and native Tuxtlan warriors led by Cortez those were the Toltecs, right?
Talking about the Tlaxcalan warriors who was led by
Yeah.
Cortez and the Yucatan Catal the
But the
Younger.
Tuxtlan, those those were the okay, I gotta reread last night. Okay, warriors led by Cortez and yeah. Zeke Zikotin Kato.
She
The
Colton
younger.
Cato the Younger captured the emperor Cuauhtemoc. Remember, Cuau is like Awa. Cuauhtemoc.
Okay.
And Tenochtitlan.
Captured the emperor Coctemoc and Tecna
Tenochtitlan. Tenochtitlan.
Tenochtitlan, the capital of Aztec Empire. You know I need help, right?
We all need
Um,
help.
okay. The fall of Tenochtitlan marks the beginning of Spanish rule in central Mexico, and they established their capital of Mexico City on the ruins of Tenochtitlan.
That goes back to what you was talking about
The
yesterday. When
Toltec, that's the imposters
mhm.
that kept coming back saying we're here and it wasn't them.
Right.
Cortez made alliances with tributary city-states, Altepet, Altepeto, Altepeto in pre-Columbian and Spanish conquest era. Aztec society was the local ethnically based political entity, usually translated into English as city-state. The word is a combination of the Nahuatl words Ato and Tepetle. A characteristic Nahu made mode was to imagine the totality of the people, the totality of the people.
So you're reading
Of the people of a region or of the world as a collection of Altepito units and to speak of them on those terms. The concept is comparable to Maya, Ka, and the Mixtec,
yo
Mixtecos.
mixed tech yo and the N
Oh,
you.
Mixtec, yeah, no, yeah. Okay, sorry, yo. So, as well as their political rivals, particularly help me out,
It's the Tlaxcalteca.
Tlaxcalteca, and Texicocans, a
Mm-hmm.
former partner in the Aztec Triple Alliance. Other city-states also joined, including Campalo, Zimpalo, or Zimpala, is an important Mesoamerican archaeological site located in Ursulo, Galvan municipality in the state of Veracruz, Mexico. The site was inhabited mainly by Totonacs, Chenecas, and Zapotecs. It was one of the most important Totonac settlements. Okay. And Texazico. I could be saying that, botching that all up. I apologize. And it won't let me click on that link, so okay. And Palatis boarding Lake Texcoco, the inland lake system of the Valley of Mexico. Particularly important to the Spanish success was a multilingual Nahuatl.
Nahuatl. It's pronounced Nahuatl.
Okay, Nahuatl,
Yeah.
a Maya dialect and Spanish indigenous slave woman known as the Spanish conquistador as Donna Marina and generally as La Malinche.
La Malinche, which is a harlot that James keeps referring to. She was basically the sellout. She was the one that
everybody.
she was the one that told DeSoto about the Mayan culture, and that's how he knew to come dressed as or in the garb of Kukulkan, or what's another term that they use? Kukulkan, and then you have
Jesus.
well, yeah, Jesus. But what's the other one? Quetzalcoatl? There's a Quetzalcoatl, right? They say Quetzalcoatl, but it's Kukulkan. But I'm sorry,
What's
go ahead.
that Disney movie? Dang it.
Emperor's New Groove.
No, the other one.
Part 2 of it.
Not Emperor's New Groove. The other one where they had the two Spanish men that just happened to go to an island. The Spaniards followed them, and one of there was a woman trying to get away from the village and taught them how to trick the whole village.
Me no know.
It's like it was about the lost city of gold.
That's probably it. The Lost City of Gold.
Is that the name of the movie?
Yeah.
Okay, then there you go. Yeah.
That's supposed to be the Disney animation of the old Pocahontas, Cortez stories all rolled up into one.
Interesting. Okay, La Malinche.
Malinche, yeah.
Malinche, and also Spanish pronunciation Malinche.
Okay.
1496. I'm just reading.
Yeah, but I have to hover so people can see what you're reading because we ain't in your head.
Well, I can feel your breath on the back of my neck. Give me some space.
Really?
That was funny.
Boo.
Ooh, don't do that.
Keep reading.
Okay. 1496, or I'm not sure what that C means. 1501 to that C again to 1529.
Gabby, I think you're talking about the road to El Dorado.
Yep, that's it. The road to El Dorado.
Which is kind of funny, not to switch it, but if you know that Disney story, the two characters are con men that find a map to the city.
Correct.
The catch is con men.
Mm-hmm.
That escaped from jail.
Yep.
What are you trying to say?
Kind of a little bit too much to be a children's story, wouldn't you say?
Man, all Disney movies, somebody gets robbed. Well, yeah. If you really pay attention to all Disney movies, it's kind of rough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, known also as Malinali. Okay, now also known as Malinali, Malinson, or Donna Marian? Donna Maria.
Danya Marina.
Marina. Okay, Donna Marina.
Danya. Look at that. Look at that N as a
J.
NY.
Danya Marina.
Right.
Or Malince was a Nahu woman from the Mexican Gulf Coast who played a key. Go ahead.
We had a guess. This is us coming in. Grand Rising hit *6 to speak.
Peace, y'all. Peace. What's going on?
What's going on?
This Mike E. Chilling, y'all. Just letting y'all know y'all doing. Man, awesome. But I think she was talking about the movie The Road to El Dorado.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just mentioned it. Yeah, The Road to El Dorado. Yeah.
Oh man. All right, cool. Cause y'all had cut off, and I was trying to call y'all, so I didn't know what was going on at the time. So,
No problem.
Right,
that's what the number there for.
Yeah, so that was it. You know what I'm saying? That's all I wanted to say.
Hold up, you're hitting that. You're hitting that.
Oh yeah, nah, I'm down to chill. I will be quiet and down to listen. My bad, y'all. I was just trying to get in, man. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I was just trying to get in, and I'm driving and whatever. So, in the DC, driving through DC, listening to y'all learning. So that's it. I'm you.
All right, no problem.
Alright. I don't know. This funny because people call in and they feel like they gotta hang up. This ain't a radio station. Oh boy. Now if we start getting 40 to 50 people on it, that might be something different. But ones and twos, it's all good.
I'm silly.
So where you at? On the page, on the screen.
You clean it up real quick.
Yeah,
man, I got quiet like, okay, what's he saying? Let me figure this out real quick. Anything I say can and will be used against me.
Mm-hmm. In the court of A2. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It will be used as fodder. Go ahead.
Okay, so
and mutter. Go ahead.
See. Mali Nali, I'm gonna go with that name, was a Nahu woman from Mexico.
Okay. What are you looking at?
My computer.
Okay. Are you looking at a link, or are you reading the screen? Period.
I'm reading the screen. Period.
Okay, so because right now, see, you can't see my screen because I'm looking at conquistadors as Daya Marina and generally as La Malinche. After 8 months of battles and negotiations which overcame the diplomatic resistance of the Aztec Emperor Montezuma II to his visit, Cortez arrives in Tenochtitlan on 8 November 1519. Are you anywhere near there?
No, I don't even know where there is.
We was reading about
you
La
were helping
Malinche.
me read. Yeah, I'm on that same link.
Okay, so you're on a separate link.
No, I'm on the same link.
I'm just here in the corner.
Wait, what happened? What am I not saying, or what am I saying?
I thought you had came off the link. I didn't know you extended it further. Yeah, it was a Nahua woman from the Mexican Gulf Coast. Go ahead now. We following, we tracking. You good?
Okay. No. Who played a key role in the Spanish conquest of the Aztec Empire, acting as an interpreter, advisor, and intermediary for the Spanish conquistador. That's what the woman did in the road to El Dorado.
That's who she was playing. See, a lot of people watch these Disney
Oh
movies and don't realize
snap.
they're giving you your history right in front of your face, but it's animated as a cartoon, so it don't register as such. It's just what was they looking for? The city of gold. What did Cortez and them come over here looking for?
Gold and resources.
They just turned it into an animated movie to desensitize you.
And they make you pay for it.
It's really interesting because at the end of the movie, the entrance to the village and it depicts that it was destroyed. The cave and the entrance to the village, because the people knew their way around. Oh, it also depicted in the mountains.
Yep. By the water.
Yeah. Huh. Somebody got some explaining to do.
Some things that make you say, hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then on, what does it say? Spanish conquest of the Aztec Empire. It says there are multiple 16th century narratives of the events by Spanish conquerors, their indigenous allies, and the defeated Aztec. You know what? All right. Which I've always said, well, okay, this is just my thoughts, my perspective. I've always wondered why my perception is they perceive that there's control in Mexico, but there's really not. The people control everything, if that makes sense. And if you want to, I guess, if I go a little further, it's more like what they consider to be the gangsters or whatnot.
You want the Mexican cartel?
Yeah.
So are we still on the link to La Malinche?
Yep. Okay. I'm finishing.
No.
Hernan Cort. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you good.
Okay. Hernan Cortez. She was one of 20 women slaves given to the Spaniards by the natives of Tabasco. Tabasco, officially the free and sovereign state of Tabasco, is one of the 32 federal entities of Mexico. It is divided into 17 municipalities, and its capital city is Villahermosa. It is located in the southeast of the country, bordering the states of Campeche to the northeast, Veracruz. Okay. Tabasco in 1519. Later, she gave birth to Cortez's first son, Martin, who is considered one of the first mestizos, people of mixed European and indigenous American. Okay, wait a minute.
Does it make sense?
Cortez. Nah. Hernan Cortez was a Spanish conquistador.
He's Iberian.
Led an expedition that caused the fall of Aztec Empire and brought large portions of what is now mainland Mexico under the rule of King Castiel. So so what I'm thinking is, because the fact that it says later she gave birth to Cortez's son, so he planned on being basically a ruler, so to speak, by what he had learned through her, like his own king, if that makes sense.
But you got to realize he learned the culture. And he learned
Right.
that in order for him to be not only considered to be the ruler, but in order to further propagate the story of being the Jesus, he had to have children to be one of the people, right? So he had to choose. He had to choose somebody. La Malinche wasn't just some random woman that was picked. She was in a line of royalty.
So why are they depicting her as one of 20 women slaves given to the Spaniards
She
by the
was a slave
natives?
because they were given away because they were outsiders. Remember, there was a split.
I mean, they went. He found her on one of the Caribbean islands.
On the islands where they were exiled to.
Oh, the Toltec.
Yep.
Yep.
Toltec, tall tale. This historical figure. You know what? This is like the same story playing out over and over.
Yeah.
Like different place, different names, but the same story playing out over and over. Canada, up north, East Coast, West Coast. Like, this is crazy. If it's not
It's
broke, don't
basically the
fix it.
method, just the method that they did. You have to ask yourself. You come across a group of people that have resources and land and you can't beat them physically. How do you do it? You join them. You become part of their family.
Mm, 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 mm. So she would be the Eve, if that makes sense. No?
She could be perceived as the Eve, or she could be perceived as the woman who told the secret about Samson's locks.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. The historical figure of Marina has been intermixed with Aztec legends such as Lorna, Lor- Lorna, a ghost woman who sweeps for her lost children. Her reputation has been altered over the years according to changing social and political perspectives, especially after the Mexican Revolution, when she was portrayed in dramas, novels, and paintings as an evil or a scheming temptress. In Mexico today, La Maliche remains
Malinche.
Malinche,
Malinche. Right.
Malinche. La Malinche remains ironically potent. She is understood in various and often conflicting aspects as the embodiment of treachery, the quintessential victim, or simply as symbolic mother of the new Mexican people.
Stop. Think about it. Or simply as a symbolic mother of the new Mexican people. So why are these new
Hmm.
Mexican people? Is because you have the
A mixed
mixing
race,
of
so to speak.
Iberians, right, the Iberians and the Toltecs, which gave you the mestizos. And so these new people are the ones that end up replacing, or what appeared to be replacing, the Maya and the Toltec and the Aztec. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Um, okay. In his 2018 book, ethno-historian Matthew Restall views La Malinche as representative of one of the darkest aspects of the conquest, in which Spaniards acquired funds by participating in the local slave traffic by acquiring and capturing young women and selling them to other native nations as slaves, including sex slaves.
I don't buy into that too much, um, but yeah, because again, he didn't defeat them, so you're not gonna make nobody no sex slave. Now they may have because the reverence that they had for him, and if he ordained that these individuals, these nations, were people that they should be with, now they probably were acquiescent to that. But as far as making them slaves, nah, I don't. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not
basically
buying.
what they did, they sold their enemies. So let's say if this tribe, Toltec, Aztec, they fight. Whichever side grabs the other side, they sold them to the others as slaves. But the slavery that they did is different than slavery how you think of it now. It's no different than a POW.
Except for they gonna put you to work. You just gonna be sitting around in some camp being in jail.
Yeah, that's why when they kept telling them, when they brought them to Florida, when the Spanish came up in through Florida, they had Aztecs and Mayans with them.
Hmm.
Hey, TMH.
What's going on?
I wanted to let y'all know, like this story. I actually heard it from my son's mom's family. So one of her sisters actually, her I guess one of the guys he had a baby by is Cortez. He's like his bloodline is from that bloodline. So she was telling me about the story, like kind of this story of the Cortez family, you know, putting their bloodline within the indigenous people down south. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's funny because my son's mom, they're Muskogee. They're Muskogee of the, they're Cree of the swamps. So, and they know this. They got it documented and everything. So it's kind of funny how y'all are talking about this story, and it's like this particular bloodline is actually in my son's family. You know what I'm saying?
And you saying that they're Cree, right?
Yes, sir.
And the Cree were the ones that were talked about the slavies. And they were the ones that enslaved the slavies and made them work while they were working with the French, right?
Yep. And that's crazy. Like y'all are actually like putting the timelines and the stories together from what I have learned and from what I've heard, and it's like, oh wow, like it's true. Like this is amazing how true it is, because this is really blowing my mind away. You know, my family are actually doing more research into the family, and their minds are starting to become blown away about what they're starting to find, and it's like crazy on like all sides. You know what I'm saying? Of the spectrum, of the European spectrum, of the indigenous people of American spectrum. You know, it's crazy.
Now, if you could do me a favor when you get a chance, because you know we literally like 20 minutes away. We need to get together because I would love to find out the Cree people's perspective on the slavery. You hear what I'm saying? Because
Yes,
that ties in. That would tie up a lot of loose ends that would answer a lot of questions. If that makes
yes,
sense.
sir. Yes, sir. And we're still doing research. Like her mom, my son's mom, she's like really into genealogical research, and she went to classes for it. So she's actually doing my family on the eastern side, like my father's side of the eastern family, and then my mom is the Lucas side. And then we're coming to find out that the Eastons and the Harrisons are kind of together, but the Harrisons of Eastern Indian Head, Maryland. Like my grandma, my big line that came up down south. She's her father's from Indian Head, Maryland, but she's from down in South Carolina, Georgia area, who's connected to the Cherokee, and then my mom's connected to the Cherokee. So I don't know. Like it's hard for me to even date a woman in DC. You see what I'm saying? How big my family is. Like I can't even. Like my lady now might be my cousin somewhere down the line. it's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I have to be careful with who I date in DC, even down south. And that's the thing that's kind of
I'm
crazy.
sure. I'm sure they're gonna be. I mean, you gotta realize, but that's what we were doing. That's what our ancestors were doing anyway. But they would make sure they were so
Yeah,
far down
true.
the line that it wouldn't cause any problems. I mean,
Affect them.
right?
Yes,
Because if
sir.
you think of as big as our families are, yeah, you gonna end up being related to some of everybody. So you just got to make sure they far enough down the line where it doesn't affect anything. I mean, it is what it is, bro. I mean,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah. So.
Yes, sir. Word.
But yeah, that's awesome, and we definitely appreciate you sharing that because it's interesting about the Cree because we just read about the Cree and the slavery last week. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That thing actually, me and my son was actually talking about that, and I was like, man, that's crazy how that up in Canada they got the people called slavery, but obviously the British and the French gonna say what they gonna like slave, and my son was like, so if they saying slave, wouldn't that mean if they came down here they conceptually trying to say everybody is these people like a slave people, right? I was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
and actually,
that's what I'm kind of
the
starting to
British and the
find out.
French, they didn't pronounce it slavery. They actually pronounced it slave.
Right. And
They
see, that's
actually
the
spelled
thing.
it slave. The
Yep.
Y didn't get added to later on. When they were doing it back then, it was slave.
So I got a question. So now, if you're saying in like in the census and the documents or whatever, like in my family, like the Toberts and all that, they're always talking about their language being English, right? So I'm like, if their language was English conceptually, wouldn't English be kind of broken down with British English and kind of like American Indian terms as far as the words and how we pronunciate words and stuff like that, which is what I'm starting to realize. Like possum is like a lot of the words that we use, even in English, some of the words are native to
Yeah,
this
Native
land,
American, Arabic,
right?
German, or what is it? Arabic, German, Native American, and there's two more.
but
Or
also
Latin.
you gotta look at
Latin,
it. You
right?
also gotta look at this. So because when they say English, what time for period are you looking at? Are you looking at English from the 1700s? Are you looking at English from the 1800s? Because if they say that their language was English, that basically means they were what Black Dutch or Black Irish.
Right. Which okay, and see that's interesting because I do have a picture of one of my ancestors. He has a big old family, but one of the ladies, I guess the matriarch of the family, she actually looked like she's like Irish, super light, but she still has like dark features, like you know what I'm saying, our features, and all of the children, everybody around her are like dark or kind of like like a brownish light skin, and it's a black and white picture, so you can't really tell per se. You know what I'm saying? But she looks like she's like Irish or something. And we weren't sure of what's going on with that, or she looked mixed. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
everybody else around her, and she's holding babies in her hand, colored.
Right. And again, we have to, like Bones always says, we have to get past that color thing. And I'm not saying that you are, but for the people in the chat and for
Right,
those that are listening, we got to get past that color thing because the first Europeans to come here looked like us. They started
right.
mixing with us, and then they brought over their European counterparts, their white counterparts. But the first ones that were here looked just like us. The only thing that separated them from us was the way they dressed and the way they talked.
Right. I do. Yes, I have done research on that, and I see that throughout the
When
the whole
people
thing.
question the
But
English on what English really is, again,
uh
a lot of this stuff isn't that hard to figure out. People make it more harder than what it is. English is just the universal language for everyone to communicate with each other. How does everybody talk to everybody now? English. English borrow learn words from every spoken language on this planet right now. Every spoken language there is, English borrow loan words from it. So what is that telling you? It's a language created so everyone can communicate with each other. That's all it is.
trade language. Yeah,
That's it.
trade language. Yeah, that's
Yeah, all the alphabet, all the English alphabet are borrowed letters from other languages. Every part of it. You look up an English word, it's telling you Latin, this, that. Ain't no English definition.
It's a language of commerce because that's the language that everybody still uses today. Most countries that speak multiple
Yep.
languages, English is one of those languages that they speak, and they speak it because of they want to do international commerce, and that's the language that everybody
Yep.
speaks.
mm, that's crazy. Now, is that what about like you know our Ebonics? So our Ebonics is like a because that means English is a pidgin language, right? It's like a mixed language. So that means
Yes,
us
mixed up
speaking
from everybody.
Ebonics
Yeah.
or our slang is kind of like uh, a broken up pigeon of pigeon, pretty
Flip
much.
that. Flip that. If English is a language of commerce, what would our language be? Our language would be just that. Our language is based on our dialect, based off of where we're from. So
Yep.
the Itza, they they basically spoke many languages, but the language they spoke commonly was basically what some people call phonetics or Phoenician, where they get hooked on phonics from. Because we broke our words down into smaller words, and like Bone said, English is nothing more than a bunch of long words that's borrowed from something else. But if you study Ladino, or what is known as what is the other what was it that James said yesterday? No, it's Ladino or called something else.
Paleo Hebrew.
Paleo Hebrew. That's the language
Yeah,
where
yeah.
all the other languages come from, and those are short words. And you put those short words together, and you make long words. That's where all the languages come from. So our language, our communication, our slang is nothing more than those short words based off of where we're from and the accents that we have, based off of who we were encountering. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. I got that does. Nah, that's cool. That's what's up. I go on mute. That was tight.
Somebody in the chat was asking could she be albino. The only way she would be albino, we're talking about one of Mike Eason's ancestors, is if she had light features, meaning her hair was light, her eye color was light. But he said she had dark features, meaning I'm assuming her hair was dark and her eyes were dark. So you can't be classified as albino if you got dark hair and dark eyes. But I could be wrong.
To me, it kind of looked like it would have been a curly reddish type or brown. Yeah, I mean, again, you can't tell, but I know my uh great granddaddy was smiling. He looked happy, and one of his sons had a gun, and I guess one of his sons' wives or his daughter, she had a camera. So the old school flash joint, you know what I'm saying, which was kind of crazy, and it was just a big family, you know. It was a big family, so they definitely didn't look like slaves or look like people that was like having problems during those times. You know what I'm saying? And it looked like they was doing just fine.
They didn't look oppressed. Mike check. Grand Rising, y'all. Peace, y'all.
Yo, no sellout.
Yeah, it's the first time he just spoke, so
Double
it took
cousin.
Mike. It took you saying something to get No Solid to say something. So.
Man, I love no sellout, man. You cool as a mug, bro.
Shout out
I
to you,
ain't
Mike,
even
as
gonna
well,
lie,
my
bro.
bro.
Man, I really do. Y'all like a family, man, for real. And then Big Brother Doodoo, man, he remind me of my uncles, man. That
Man,
joint is
he
so
remind
Bro,
everybody
for
of their
real.
funny,
uncle.
bro.
For
Man,
real.
I love it. I'm like, yo, man, you remind me of every single, even the guys that's like, how DC is. If you ever been to DC, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody uncle, you know what I'm saying? Everybody
Yeah.
uncle,
Yep.
pretty much, regardless of what's going on, what they going through. be on crack or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We always show that reverence, that respect. And we're like, what up, Unc? What up, big Unc? You know what I'm saying? And that's what we remind me of, man, because they got stories for days. And it's great to listen to them, especially, even if they struggling out here, man, it's good to listen to them and to actually hear their stories of how DC used to be. And them talking about, like, people of color. They always say, like, people of color, we ran DC. Like, we was the ones running DC. You know what I'm saying? We had all of this land up around here. And it's funny how important the Anacostia River is to us. You know what I'm saying? And it's weird because when you come to find out that the Anacostia River was a main trading point for our people. So before any so-called, I guess, white people, as people would say, or Europeans or Caucasians or whatever, on both sides, dark or color or white, right? When they was coming around here, DC was a main trading point for our people. You see what I'm saying? Like, we traded heavily on goods around here. You know what I'm saying? The Pamunkey, Pocoum, you know what I'm saying? The Delaware came down here. Like, everybody came to Washington, D.C., this area, for a reason. And I always tell my people, I'm like, look who lives right next to the river. Which going all the way to the Chesapeake, which Indian Head overlooks the Chesapeake because it's a great point to see if anybody comes in, if they want to come in and do trade, if they get threatening, we can attack them if it need be. It's a great, perfect spot just to see everything that's going on, what's coming in and out of that river. You know what I'm saying? Going into the Chesapeake. And I actually go around there and take my dogs out there. We go out in the woods, take my son and stuff out there. Even though I'm from the city, we go out there and we go around there. Go out by the MGM Grand and go out in those woods and go around the river and go tracking for deer and all that. Man, we do that. Like, we love that. We love it. I was about to say something else, but it's kid friendly. But we love it. You know what I'm saying? And
TMH, we need to get up with Mike.
You can hear the stories of our old heads, you know what I'm saying, of our unks, talking about them going down to Georgia or their family coming up from Georgia or coming up from the Carolinas or coming up from Florida and watching it and actually seeing bodies hanging. You know what I'm saying? Like, the reason why my family is even up here from that side is because they was running because my great grandfather killed somebody over I guess his wife's family, because his wife's family was trying to take his land. You know what I'm saying? It was some crazy, it was crazy. So he had to run up here and take my big ma. You know, everybody got big ma. He had to take my big ma and her sister, bring him up to DC because he ran for murdering one of his wife's people, and actually his wife was treating my big ma and her sister real bad because they had just, got married or whatever, or something to that effect, because their mom had died. And to hear those stories from my grandmother, she actually losing her memory or whatever, but to hear her talk about their stories sometimes and then talk about her father being from Indian Head, Maryland, he always been there. You know what I'm saying? And talking about those stories about why my family is so big and why I can't just be talking to any girl around here. It's crazy to me. Like, my family actually ran DC at some point in time. You know what I'm saying? In the underworld a little bit, but they did it. But I had family members that actually worked and helped build Washington, D.C. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? And the only way they can do that is being from this land. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And we're starting, you know what I'm saying? We're starting to learn more and more every day. I definitely got European in me. I know that. But I haven't found no African yet.
You ain't the only one that's got European in your family. Trust me.
Oh, yeah. Don't, yeah.
I know all, you know what I'm saying?
But that African,
though. we got all of them. Like, my family is weird. We got the Spaniards, and you can hear some of that, of the stories coming from the Iberian, you know what I'm saying? At one point in time, we got French in our bloodline. You're like, what in the world is that? And we definitely got British and Irish. And you're like, how in the world is this tie in? And when y'all talk about the timelines, you're like, this is how the European is tying into our blood. Like, I can see that. You know what I'm saying? Now I can see it. And I tell people all the time, the reason why our people beef so much sometimes is because sometimes our beefs were, this stuff for centuries. You know what I'm saying? So you don't even know what tribe they from because they mixed us up so much. Sometimes that natural stuff that come out of us is like naturally what has been in our blood for like centuries. You know what I'm saying? And it's like passed down through generations. It's almost like a, I ain't saying it's a curse, but that's kind of like that curse thing. We're like, why are we beefing so much with each other? Why are we doing this and this? Why can't we work together like
it's DNA and it's blood.
It's in our DNA.
It's DNA and it's
you know
blood.
what I'm saying? That's blood. It's in our DNA. You know what I'm saying? We are a loving people. And yes, we can love our enemies. And we do forgive. But when we fight, it's serious. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that I noticed. And they've been talking about that about us for history, for years. And that's why they was able to do what they were able to do. That's why they was able to come in and breed in with us the way they wanted to do it. Because we're always looking for acceptance when in all actuality, we should just be accepted amongst our people and put our beefs to a side. But we got to find out what our beefs were. You know what I'm saying? We got to find that thing out to be able to change this whole thing around. We lost, right? We lost our land, but we can't do nothing crazy. Now we got to start thinking smartly. We got to start doing what y'all say do. Hey, I'm not no Democrat, no Republican. But since Donald Trump in office, I know I can make money right now. You know what I'm saying? I know we can all make money as a people right now, especially while he's in office. This is the time to start businesses. You know what I'm saying? I used to fight professionally. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that all my life. So now I train people. At some point in time, I would like to have a gym. You know what I'm saying? I would like to have a gym so I can train everybody because it's a universal thing. Martial arts is a universal thing. We all can benefit from it. I don't care what race you are or what culture you come from, because it's not about race. I'm starting to learn that. It's not about race. I don't care what culture you come from. We all can benefit from martial arts. We all can benefit from it. Why? Because that takes the stress out of life. You know what I'm saying? We all can walk around safe and be happy or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And you let that aggression out, which is pent up aggression. That's another thing that's what's wrong with our people. We're frustrated. You know what I'm saying? We got pent up aggression. My mother and father, my uncles and all of them, they talk about they had wrestling in our schools. They had boxing in our schools. They had weightlifting in our schools at one point in time. They had, you could build a car, you could build houses, you could do all that. That's what was going on in our schools in D.C. And then all of a sudden they took it out.
Well, they took that out because they realized by taking out that outlet, now it manifests in different types of ways, negative ways, like crime.
Right. How do we get that back though? See, that's my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like my sister, my father, her husband, my little brother, they were all working the school system. You know what I'm saying? So, and they're learning what they're learning, and it's kind of messing them up because it's like, well, the school wants us to teach this, but we're finding this out. What do we do to get all this stuff straight? You know what I'm saying? What do we do to stop these other people from calling us slaves? Stop playing Roots. Alex Haley got sued for it. Well, like, what do we have to do?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
We have, like Bones always says, it's nothing to start an online school. Starting an online school is easy. All we have to do is just do it.
Okay.
That's it. I mean, that's a simple fix. And you gotta start where we at. Start where you are. Start with your location. Start locally. Start with your neighbors. Start with the people that you know. Start with the individuals and help them do their genealogy and ask them, so, hey, have you heard that you got Indian in your family? Once you start that conversation, everything else can flow from there. Because without that initial conversation, nothing else is gonna work.
Ooh, that I definitely have. You know what's funny, y'all? Let me tell y'all what's funny. So I work amongst a lot of Caucasians, people that come from Africa, Asians, whatever, and I tell them my story. and I tell them who we are. You know what I'm saying? And understand this. I don't say that like nothing rude or anything. We're like, especially when I talk to people that are I guess albinos. I'm like, you can't say everybody comes from Africa, bro, because what part of Europe did you come from? What was it? My people are German, or they were like, oh, I'm Irish, this and that, and this, such. Well, are you German? They're like, no, we're not German, but you're both considered white, right? Yeah, exactly. Oh, and I'm like, yeah. You see what I'm saying? And they're like, oh, okay, yeah. I'm like, exactly. You can't do that, bro. You can't do that. One day, this Asian brother came in, and cool cat, man, cool cat. Guess what? He came in with a shirt on, right? He thought it was just a comic book shirt. Man, it was an Olmec head, right? And then they had, I guess, as they had it as an Aztec or Olmec warrior or whatever. But he was kind of light. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he could have been light skinned, but you know how they try to portray him to be. And he had a lady, and they had the regalia on, you know, half neck or whatever, but they try to make him look super light. So me and my son looked at the shirt. He was like, man, look, Dad. And I'm like, yeah, I see that drink. And he's looking, yeah, I like my shirt. I was like, yeah, man, that's, you know, it's somehow from our ancestral stories that we're learning. That's our ancestors right there. He's like, what? He looked down at his shirt. I was like, yeah, look at this. I pulled it up. I just pulled it up. And he looked at it. He's like, oh, man. I was like, yeah, man, you should do a lot of research on, you know, people of color in America. And not longer, a couple of days after that, I talked to a brother from Paraguay, right? He's from down there. And I started talking to him. We started conversating or whatever. And I let him know. I was like, I'm Choloki, man. Choloki. My mother's side of the family, she Choloki. That's who they are. And I can tell y'all millions of stories on that. And he's like, yeah. I said, yeah, man. We have records, and I have family that lives down on that side. Like, they down there. I started telling him stories. He was like, you know something? I didn't really know, but now that you're talking about it, I go back to some of his childhood and seeing some of the people that he grew up seeing all over Paraguay and all that, and them telling their stories and stuff. He said, you know what? Your people up here look just like the people down there. I see people that look like you that's down there. I see people that look like my homeboy Malcolm. And when he went to Florida, he was in and out the system when he was younger. He doing great now, ain't got no charges or nothing. He doing good. That's my man. He straightened up right at the right point. But when he was down in Florida, all the people down there called him Geechee. I'm like, oh man, you're Geechee younger. You're Geechee younger. And he was like, yeah, man, they kept calling me Geechee. And people always want to say Geechee is African or whatever. Nah, Geechee ain't had nothing to do with Africa. It has everything to do with, that's that coast. Geechee just means the coast of that line. That's what it means.
In South Florida, when they say Geechee, it means a coastal person that eats a lot of rice.
Yep, that's exactly what it means right there, right? And he told me, he was like, now I see it, because he, you know, I told him about it. He started to do research with his family. He said, I'm starting to see it, and we started conversating with guys from Mexico. We started conversating with guys from South America, Latin America, Central America. We start talking to them about buffalo, right? And we tell them that DC had a lot of buffalo, y'all. This whole area had a lot of buffalo. People don't know about that. And we was conversating. It was like, yeah, the buffalo came all the way down here to Mexico too. All the way down to South Florida. We was like, what? He was like, yeah, the buffalo, we hunted buffalo too down here on this side. And they ran up and down the south, up and down. They got pushed out west. They was out west, but they also got pushed further out west when the Europeans came in to, you know, wipe them out to change our food resources. And he said they go up and down. He said they was down by the Yucatan. He said they was down there. He said it was down all up over Mexico. He said they was down in central Mexico. He said they would travel. Their herds would travel up and down all across the United States. Jaguars were up here. That's why the Jacksonville Jaguars named the Jaguars. People don't know that, though. You know what I'm saying? My bad, y'all. I went on a little rant. My apologies. But
No, I appreciate that, Jim, with the Jaguars. I didn't know that.
Yeah, man.
No, but
Man,
I'm just glad that you
we
say
had
that.
Jaguars
That's
every
why I
mountain
will
lion.
always be great. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro. My bad.
No, that's what I'm saying. I will always be grateful to South Florida. I will always consider it a home because in South Florida, what I learned from going to school there and from the people there, there's people who have always been there that know their culture. They might not say the word Indian and this and that, but they know they're not African and they know their ways and they still live that every day. Like what a Geechee really is, I didn't have to read a book. I learned that from growing up in South Florida what a Geechee was. That's an Indian, somebody from here. The animals and stuff. A lot of them big cats, the panthers and all that, they still out there in the Everglades. Bobcats, bears, the things they tried to tell you that wasn't here, they're still living out there in the Everglades.
We got mountain lions around here. Man.
Yeah, it was nothing to see bobcats and jinx down there walking out the bushes in your backyard. That ain't nothing.
Ain't nothing. Staring right at you, looking at your dog like it's a tasty meal.
Well, the dog would be there. I'm in the house. Door closed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we had a bobcat in my mom's and dad's neighborhood over there by Andrews Air Force Base in Clinton. And they said, beware that bobcat. We actually had a mountain lion that came down there. We see a bear every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? In DC, we got big donkey coyotes. If y'all understand what I'm saying. Big donkey coyotes. You know what I'm saying? And people don't know them coyotes actually that's running around this area are hybrids. So they kind of mix with a wolf and they got introduced. People got to start doing their research too. It got introduced into this area because of the deer population that's getting so big in Virginia, Maryland, and DC. And also, people don't understand that boar are starting to make their way up here. So,
yep.
Boar are starting to, they coming up here fast.
The problem is all these animals that were not natural to the Americas that they bought, and they're messing up the ecosystem. It's why you don't see a lot of the indigenous animals here because the problem they got in the Everglades, they bought so many reptiles and snakes and exotic fish that don't have no natural predators. It's killing all the natural animals in the Everglades that's from here.
Changing up the ecosystem.
The thing about animals is they don't eat what they don't eat. It's like, I'm not eating that. I'm just going to find somewhere else for what I eat. So if I don't eat that, I don't care. They leave. Which goes back to what y'all saying.
Because the natural hog here was not that big. It was little.
Yep.
It was little. It was much smaller, you know what I'm saying, cleaner. You know what I'm saying? I know people we ain't supposed to be eating this swine, but
it was more on the boar side. It was more on the boar side, less on the pig.
Yeah, it was more on the boar side. And the issue is now that a regular house pig will go feral within 2 weeks. So
yep.
when you let that pig go, that big 200-something pound pig go, now it's going to go feral. It's going to live amongst the smaller boar, but it's going to breed with that female boar, and you know, boar got what? Some of them have up to 20 pups or 20 piglets. I mean, 20 piglets.
Think about it, the Spanish left them here for over 100 years. Over 100 years they left them wild pigs here.
Yeah, man, the Spaniards, right?
Yep.
They really messed up a whole lot of stuff, man. They you know what I'm saying? But we allowed it. You know what I'm saying? We allowed it. So we kind of got to do what we got to do to survive. We just got to start opening up businesses.
Fact, Celestial Love. Yeah, they also in South Florida, if you talk super fast, they'll call you a Geechee.
Now, is it true that all right, so my lady, awesome woman, awesome. She went to school down in Carolinas, right? They kind of get mad when you call them Geechee. So like to them, they say Geechee is like a white person saying Negro. You know what I'm saying? I was about to say the other one, but you know what I'm saying? That's they say they get kind of mad at that, and it's funny because and it's weird. It like to me, is it because there's two different peoples? You know what I'm saying? Because they like, nah, we Carolina, cuz, you know what I'm saying? And you know, down in Florida, they be like, yeah, I'm a Geechee. They be cool with it. You see what I'm saying? So is it that thing like, nah,
It's
y'all, you from Baltimore, I'm from DC type thing? You know?
it's a little different. I lived down there for years. It's how it's used in reference to. It's like a whole. It's kind of like a race thing. So it's how it's
Oh, it's a race.
They use it as a descriptive term.
used down there. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And if you think about it, it's one thing for your own people to call you Geechee. It's something different for a stranger to call you Geechee.
Oh yeah, because down south, a pale person cannot call a melanated person a Geechee. That's not going to end well.
Yeah, I feel you. That's like when I go down to Savannah, or I go down to Georgia sometimes. You know, they call everybody buddy. I'm like, buddy? Bro, I don't know you like that. But I understand that's his slang. It's like in DC.
I'm still saying that and been here going on 5 years.
That's funny because we call you Mo. You know what I'm saying? What's good, Mo? Or we say Joe, or we say Cuz. So it's funny to listen to different slangs or whatever. You know. Y'all travel out to Cali?
I haven't been out to Cali. No.
I've been a few times, but I haven't been in some years now.
Man, a lot of people
Gabby Gab is from Cali.
Yeah, I'm from Cali, and the father of my youngest two children, he's Geechee.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because the people from Cali, they be knowing their bloodline.
So you just be hitting all the categories.
They funny as a mug, man. Because they tell you their bloodline quick. They be like, nah, bro, I'm Indian, man. You know, that's why we get mad and stuff around here real quick, man. Oh yeah, cuz. You know what I'm saying? It's funny, like talking to big bloods out there, or talking to you know, big Crips out there. You know, unks, you know what I'm saying? And to listen to their stories. And they talk about them being from this land. Like a lot of them, like a lot of them dudes doing the Crip walk and all that, all them different gang walks and stuff like that. They'll tell you in a minute. They be like, man, for real, we've been doing that because we've been here to listen to their stories, and that's what tripped me out about this whole African American thing. Because I'm an '80s baby. Because I remember in school, they was pushing African American on us, right? And as they was pushing going to all elementary school, they was pushing African American on us. But a lot of us was like, nah, we ain't African American. I know you can call us Afro American, but a lot of my peers in the class was like, nah, I'm Indian. My great grandmother is Pocahontas from her first set of family, and my friend said that, and I had another friend was like, nah, I'm Blackfoot. No, we ain't no African American, off Cherokee, this and that and this. We actually had it's like an argument with the teacher, right? I remember that, and we got in trouble. Like everybody got in trouble. You know what I'm saying? And that was Miss Butler. Miss Butler used to crack you on the hand with that ruler. Oh my goodness. But we got in an actual argument with Miss Butler about that, y'all. And,
we need to bring them days back then. That's what it is.
Man,
these children need to know. For real.
I had teachers. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go ahead, man.
Buddy.
No, I'm just saying, like in California, which I mean, I guess I trip in different states that I've been in. The stuff that we were taught in school in California, from the city to the valley to the mountains, it was completely different. Then of course, I mean, I get, based off the area that you're in, you're going to be taught based off the area that you're in. but how they taught things, it wasn't limited. Like, I'm in North Carolina now. When I came to North Carolina, I was homeschooling my children. When I put them in public school, when I finally put them in public school, my children came home like, Mom, I don't know what's going on. We're ahead of what the teacher is teaching us, and the teacher is teaching us that this isn't true, and questioning us, how did we learn this and where did we learn this from? Because it's not in their school books. It's not something that they know, like, what's going on. And I taught them, expanded on what I learned in school, but I taught them the way that I was taught.
Mm-hmm. Mm. That's like my son now kind of be getting the little. I already told y'all I'd sit on the chat one day, but he still to this day, you know what I'm saying? And luckily, my sister, her husband, my little brother, they at his school too, so they work at his school. Thank the creator for that. Thank you. So he'll get into little debates with his homies and teachers. He like, y'all gotta stop saying that I'm African American. Like, he'll tell him, he like, I'm not African American. I'm a Muskogee Cree. That's who I am. I'm a Cree. That's me. And they like, man, how you can't, you can't go against that. He like, no, I can't, because what y'all are talking about happened to my people. He said that, and it changed like kind of their outlook of the teachers kind of. So I don't know if they like calm down on the subject. I don't know if they completely took the subject out because of this situation, you know what I'm saying? But I haven't got wind of it. But he said, no, we ain't been talking about it no more ever since I done, talked about it. And which is kind of crazy. And have y'all been to the African American Museum? "Quote unquote"
Nope.
African American Museum. I haven't either, right? But my
brother
has. Yeah, my brother has, and then ever since James said forget about it, I was like, forget about it.
Yeah, my son went, right, and he literally, because what some of the kids was talking about it in school, he even wanted to teach us. He literally debunked like the whole slave trade narrative, right, in front of the person that was giving the speech, right, because he asked legitimate questions. And I guess the white people, quote unquote white people that was there, actually looked at the person and was like, he's actually right about this. Y'all numbers that you're saying right here, and the numbers that you said that they took, wouldn't that mean no one would be in West Africa right now? Like, think about it. You talk about the men you took and all that, and to the point where other cultures was in the museum talking to the person like, yeah, how can you explain this? Like, y'all need to explain this to us. You know what I'm saying? To the point where they had to leave that one spot and go to the next part of the I guess the presentation of the museum or whatever. And literally where the person that was giving the presentation had no answers, no question, couldn't answer it. They had to skip to the next one. And he told me about it. I was like, wow. Like, it kind of blew my mind. I didn't, know he would go do it to that extent, but he did it. And they literally had to go to the next presentation. It's kind of crazy,
Well, you did something, and your family has allowed him to be something that the school is trying to get out of the kids. You allowed him to ask questions. You encouraged him to inquire. See, in school, they teach you don't ask questions, just listen to the teacher. And then you got the parents that go, well, whatever the teacher says is what you're supposed to follow. Well, if you allow a child to question the teacher, then that's what they're going to do.
How young are your children?
Think about school. Are you really figuring out the answer, or are you picking the answer from a category that was already chosen for you? That's why majority of tests are multiple choice, because it's not about teaching you to think outside of the box. They want you to think inside the box they created to put you in. Why you think the SAT scores, them FCAT scores, When it comes to our people, they use that score at a young age to dictate what direction they're going to push you in as an adult. Certain children, melanated children, score low, they already label them as criminals.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell by the classes they give them, by the subjects that they push them in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that got to change. Yeah, we got to start, because you know something, my sister and her husband, they dream really, really big, right? And they're like, man, because KIPP, because we work at KIPP schools. If you know about KIPP schools or whatever, they actually started somewhere else, and you know, KIPP schools started coming in when gentrification starts coming into certain areas, right? So KIPP schools, they kind of got that motto where they're going into the inner cities and they're helping the inner city child, learn. They want them. They don't want it to be just like every child makes it. No, you got to learn what you need to learn so you can pass and succeed and this and that and this. So I kind of understand their motto, but the KIPP school was created by two white youngins. You know what I'm saying? Like, how did they do it? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we know about LeBron James. He started his school, but we don't know what his curriculum is like. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what that curriculum is.
It's not his school. It's just his school by name. It's just his name on the school.
Okay. All right. So I understand that now. So, okay, it's not a school. It's just his name on school. Well, like y'all say, like this big, us also being able to use, our people are also being able to use the towers so we can do our broadcasting or whatever. Like, how do we get back to, and I know for the online schooling thing, but how can we do it for physical, like an actual physical thing? Because for me, I grew up with a learning disability. So my parents had to sue Washington, D.C. in order for me to get the learning that I get. Like, I see letters, I'm dyslexic, I see letters backwards. So I got to read something. That's why the chat, for the chat for me, sometimes I mess up on spelling and stuff, y'all, because I got to speak to the chat. But
shout out to you.
For me, I see I see letters backwards, right? So for reading for me, I got to read stuff over.
Mike,
Yes,
we gotta change it, bro. You're not dyslexic. You read indigenously. We read from
Okay.
right to left. That's how we read, because Paleo Hebrew is from right to left, not from left to right. So when they call you dyslexic, so you read indigenously. That's the reason why you have that problem. So you didn't have a learning disability. They weren't able to teach you based off of the way that you learn. They had a disability. You didn't have a learning disability. They had a teaching disability. I'm just saying.
Got you. All right. Thank you for correcting me on that. I'm gonna start using that. No, that was good. I like that. So I learned indigenously. Excuse my tongue. Right. So, which is funny because actually when I started to learn Arabic, Arabic came kind of easier, a little bit more easier for me than to sort of kind of understand, just a little bit, not a lot. But my parents had to sue Washington, D.C. How do we come up with a school that can teach us or teach our children how to, learn indigenously, but also be able to succeed in this this program that they put on top of ours.
It's no different.
So we got a homeschool. Okay. So that's what
basically what I learned here in Georgia, working with the daycare. Basically, what you would do is you would find out what are the qualifications for schooling that your district or your state recommends. Like the 4 subjects, they'll tell you there's 4 or 5 subjects that you got to teach. Outside of that, you add on whatever curriculum that you want to add on. That's just like they'll tell you math, reading, science, and history. Let's say they'd be like, those are the 4 subjects that you need in a foreign language. Then anything else you add on to the children, that's up to your discretion.
All right.
It's learning the requirement. Once you know the requirement, then you work from there.
now, I want him to stay like I just keep him in sports to keep that communication with other people and all that because he likes all that. He likes going to school. You know what I'm saying? He really does. He enjoys going to school. He can get a little lazy sometimes. You know how it is. He's still a jock. He's an athlete type. But I got him in STEM program. He goes to STEM, and I'm pushing that STEM on him to let him know, like, technically when you get good at STEM, dog, you really ain't gotta go to college if you don't want to. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, if you go to college to play football, cool. But guess what? You got already. You already got STEM. You already know how to do it. You're already making your money before you even go into college. So he reads.
Yeah, you can even start a school and have the same sport teams that the public schools have. Private schools do it all the time. All you have to do, again, is find out what the requirements are. Like most schools, they have to have a population of so many students to be able to have a sports team. Find out what the grade average is for your area for them to be eligible to play sports. Basically, everything to set up what you see around you, it's easy to do. It's just moving forward and doing it. It's going through the proper steps of doing it and not shortcutting it. But it can be done. You have Catholic schools that sit in Catholic neighborhoods. How you think they did it? 501c and grants and HUD programs.
So now coming to that. So if I wanted to put Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the school, I could do that? Just a question.
You'll have to check with the district and find out.
Yes. I'll make sure nobody
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's like wrestling, you know what I'm saying, or judo, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I like that type
Wouldn't
of
that be considered recreation bones, similar to like a gym class or a weightlifting class?
It'd be
Yeah,
technically
all you gotta do-
classified as an elective.
An elective, and basically he just got to check the qualifications of the school board of that area. They'll let you know.
Okay, we're gonna talk. I love y'all, by the way. Hopefully one day we'll all be able to meet and link up or whatever. But I'm really interested in about obviously opening up a gym and also having a school for our children. And I don't mind other children coming in because it's funny that believe it, other cultures receive what I say about who our people are or what we definitely have in our blood, and they do their own research. And I have people coming back to me, other cultures literally coming to me, and they're like, bro, what you was talking about is true. I was like, yeah, bro, you'd be surprised, bro. And I want to thank y'all for that. And another thing is, I'm not sure what's going on or what craziness is going on in the communities, y'all. I try to stay out of that type of situation. And again, I tell you, if I hear somebody like, yeah, I know for a fact, when Brother Reggie was gaslighting, I called him a fool. I typed that in because he just sounds foolish to me. But I will tell you that, like me listening to other guys, like, for me, I don't want to misrepresent nobody. I don't even want to misrepresent the community at all because of who I am. I'm known around the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Another thing is I like ain't one of them. Like the reason why I tell y'all the reason why I started listening to him because he sound like me, Reed. And I was like, man.
And here's the thing, Mike.
That's real.
And here's the thing, Mike. I listen to all those guys too. But what I'm saying is when we start perpetuating that common law thing and we start trying to perpetuate separating from the government. I'm not talking about listen. I mean, you can listen to anybody you want to, and so that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when people start co-signing on stuff that ain't true or that can hem somebody up or that can put them on the BIE list. See, that's where I have a problem. Listen to somebody. I mean that's fine. I mean, everybody need their form of entertainment. Everybody need their form of learning, which is cool. But when we start putting people and their families in situations where they can lose their house and where they can lose their freedom, that's where I have a problem. Outside of that, I mean, yeah, I don't, like I said, I listen to everybody. So
I feel you on that. That's like, I don't know I forgot the young brother. He real knowledgeable or whatever, man. But he be trying to go in on Miss Warhorse or whatever, man, and I be listening to this joint like, man, come on, bro.
But the problem is, not to cut you short, the problem is again, the majority of these people that had these channels that's doing this talking, they are pushing a sovereign citizen movement, whether they recognize it or not. And that's all we're trying to tell people is, listen, y'all be careful. This stuff is so bad. Not only Chief Warhorse tribe, there's multiple tribes that we know of that's being affected by this right now. And the problem is, when we go and we start fighting for what's rightfully ours, how does that look if they can lump us in the category with people that's committing crimes against the government?
We don't want that because if you really sit back and do actual research, we're supposed to work with them. Really, we're supposed to work with them. We're citizens. All right, we can claim who we are and say who we are, and we can let them know who we are. But we're still citizens of the United States of America. We have to do what we have to do to protect this particular land. And even though we're occupied by the United States, we're occupied by them. We can't do nothing about it. We can't. We lost.
But even that, when people say you occupied, do the research. How was America formed?
Not really.
By Indians and immigrants. So who are you occupied by? Your ancestors?
Your ancestors, right. So technically we did. So we're not occupied.
No.
So we did it. We created this. So since we created it, thank you, Brother Bones. That man, that clicked for me, by the way, right there. That did. So that means we just gotta work with and do what we gotta do. We just gotta do it.
We the people means just that. And in order to get our people in politics, we got to start locally. See, most people only vote when there's a national election. But that person that you're voting for does not represent you because they don't know you exist. But if you start working in your local government and start having an effect there and then start getting them promoted and pushed into the House and the Senate, now you're talking about having a fair and a real representation. You can't have somebody represent you if they don't know you. And so that's where the disconnect is. We can't look at the leaders that are there now and think they're going to represent us. They don't know us. So we need our own homegrown people in office. And we can do that. All we have to do is get active. Like Bones M always says, all it takes is a 30% swing in any direction.
That's voting Mayor Marion Barry in twice. Right?
And he had a drug charge. Did that stop it?
And he had a drug charge. No. Because
think about it. He had a big national drug charge. What happened? He got reelected.
He got set up and everything. But he loved his people, man. Like, he loved his people. I can remember growing up in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was so influential. Did I say that right, y'all? Yeah, but you know what I mean. That my dad, because my dad's a local artist, he put Marion Barry in the picture of The Last Supper twice. He put him in that thing twice. You know what I'm saying? Because of what he did for the people. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody was working.
And that goes back to it. Right. That goes back to it. Marion Barry, the thing that allowed Marion Barry to get reelected and the people to overlook his transgressions is people were working, people were getting paid.
Yep.
It don't matter. It doesn't matter what your past is if the economy is booming and people are able to work. So let's say you got a squeaky clean record, but the unemployment rate is at 65%. Ain't nobody gonna reelect you. I'm just saying.
Yep, that's real. That's like, I keep telling everybody, y'all better start making this money while Trump in office. And I know he's gonna be in there for another 4 years. So let's start making this money. Start creating businesses.
You agree with me, Mike? All right.
Yeah, man, come on, man. I mean,
look,
I'm not Democrat, no Republican. I'm not either one of those. But I know for a fact that if I start me a business, and if it's going to help my business, and if my business is feeding my family, and also creating jobs for the people who need jobs, well, shoot, well, we're gonna put him back in office because
you're gonna recognize.
No, you know what people don't recognize by the president, y'all? When a president is in office, the policies and things that he are adjusting, therefore when he's out of office. So we all know Donald Trump is a businessman. Don't you think while he's in office, he's making adjustments for businessmen?
Of course. I mean, he
They
came
better,
in
they
probably
better
like
pay
that.
attention
Come
and
on now.
start looking at these policies and stuff that's going through.
Okay,
Better pay
so
attention.
I'm gonna say something to y'all. I'm not Republican. I'm not Democrat. I'm independent, and you can't spell independent without spelling Indian. That's all I got.
There you go.
He ain't lying.
Yeah, I'm independent. That's what I say. Yeah,
Big old
that's
facts.
right. That's what I say every single time. I'm independent, dog. What you
Yeah,
doing?
my vote ain't promised to nobody. You
Big
ain't
old
coming to talk
facts.
to me, so why am I giving you my vote? I'm gonna give you something what I'm getting in return. Oh no, I'd rather
Who is
work.
you?
I'd rather use mine on the local level.
Big
Get
old
my
Now,
street cleaned up.
I have a serious question for y'all about the census, right? So, I've been giving my spiel to, family members and friends on the census. A lot of them are like, man, I don't want them to know how many people I got in my house. I don't. And like one of my homeboys, cool as a mug, he said, I could be wrong. He said it just like that. He said, I really could be wrong. I could be. But I got to stand on what I believe in because I don't want nobody around my house. I don't want nobody coming to my door. He's one of those guys. He's just it's because of how he grew up, and he's doing
Mike, Mike,
good.
Mike,
He's doing
Mike.
just fine.
Let me ask you this
What
question.
what are we supposed to do?
Let me
Yep.
ask you this question. Does do these people have cell phones?
Yeah, he got a cell phone, of course.
Do they have smart TVs?
Matter of fact,
Do they got birth
he got that.
certificates?
He got cameras in his house. He got all that.
Okay.
That's what I say. I was like, they already know.
Right,
If
right.
everybody
So
got a birth certificate, everybody got a
do they
TV.
realize that any digital media is a two-way transmission? They already know. They already know how many people in your house. You already tell people how many in your house. If you have a family plan and you got 5 people on that family plan, then they already know you got 5 people in your house.
Already. You're absolutely right. So they might as well just do it.
So, but the thing about it is the question is do you want resources to come into your community, or you want gentrification to come into your community? Because gentrification comes in when there's no representation.
Right. You're
Yep,
absolutely right.
that's the key to
And
gentrification. Yep, is lack of representation. Facts, CMH.
Keep
they
hiding
need
from
to
the
make sure
census if y'all want to. Y'all gonna have them dilapidated entity or dilapidated structures you can be living in.
But
And they're
y'all,
gonna be
y'all know it's
complaining.
gonna be hard for PG. Out in Prince George's County, man. Y'all already know what Prince George's County look like. All them people was working, making money. They ain't playing around with none of that. That's why they put the MGM Grand over there because they know we making money over on that side.
But Mike, to go back, you said something that was very, very important that I wanted to touch on real quick. When you were talking about the schools and not just for all children, and that's so correct because remember when we went to school, were we the only children in them schools, or was it children that didn't look like was learning that same BS? So if we want to fix this mess, we must re-educate as many children who want to learn the truth as possible. You don't force it, but if the person want to learn the truth and don't look like you, inform them. Because you know why? You never know in the future where that person can benefit you to where you're not here, but that person that learned your truth can defend you when you're not here. That's what we must do different. See, this complete separation is going to keep hate going on because there's no familiarity in between there. No, you have certain things are separate and certain things are not. Our history should not be separated. Everybody should know our history. So that takes the excuse from everybody is saying, well, we didn't know. No, you know.
Everyone must know their part that they played in it. The truth. Everyone should know that. Because dang, we had a whole bunch of different cultures to come in and influence us, right? It's clearly what it is. And our culture is, conceptually, our culture is influencing the entire world right now to this day. Still, like naturally. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that, like the Library of Congress, I don't know if y'all been there or whatever, right? Yeah, Colinago, bro, you go ahead with all that, man. Anybody can get a Library of Congress card, bro. So I gotta say that, man.
Hey, we gotta address all the haters today. Is that what you're saying?
I gotta
Because
say
you're gonna
that.
recognize.
But going to the Library of Congress, man, which is an awesome spot, man. But if you haven't seen that book, you know what I'm saying? The book about the peoples of America, man. Let me tell y'all, man. When you open them pages and you can see them youngins with the gold chains on, and you can see them with the tattoos all on their face, and some of them with locks, and you can see them, and then you go outside and you go to walk through DC, and you can see the same youngins. It blows your mind. You see what I'm saying?
We never change. We do the same thing.
Rolling up
Right.
tobacco. They rolling up tobacco. I'm like, man, let's go ahead and be honest. Well, what group of people roll up tobacco, or let's go roll up herb, you know what I'm saying? Putting gold, diamonds, and stuff in their ears, and super flashy, and they show them boxing. They show boxing.
Bring it, baby.
You know what I'm saying? They show it. You see who boxing or always down to box, or you show. They talk about the beefs and how they be beefing with each other. Like when you can read at the fact of some of these joints, it's like they can look at each other and they can communicate with each other without saying anything to each other.
We do that now.
I only know one
We do
group
that
of people that can do that. I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying? I only know one group of people that can do that, and that's us. That's like when I talk to the people or the Aboriginal, some of the Aboriginal races over there that in the land that they call Africa, and be having to live over there in the Middle East and the Abu Dhabi and all that, talking to them, right, where they never heard of the African or the transatlantic slave trade until they came to America.
Facts.
Or until they went to an Western school. They didn't learn none of that. You know what I'm saying? And just me traveling and people coming up to me, grabbing my hair. Like when I'm in Sweden, white women coming up to me like, who are you? Why are your skin complexion this way? And I see African women and different African cultures coming to me like, what's your tribe? Like, who you from? I'm from America. All right, so where your family from? Where they from? I was like, they from America. Where they family from? I said, they American. Everybody American. You know what I'm saying? Some of them will be like, oh, you lost tribes. I'm like, okay, yeah, probably, And then some people are like, oh, and this in Sweden. Oh, you American Indian. And I'm like, what? Yeah, you American Indian. And it's from white people. You know what I'm saying? So now, to me, I'm like, what is the history that they learning that we ain't learning over here? You see what I'm saying? It's like the same thing in Abu Dhabi. Everybody thought I was Brazilian. Everybody. Brazilians think I'm Brazilian to this day.
Yeah.
Well, Brazilians look like any of us.
Yep.
They look just like us. If you ever been to Brazil, trained with them, they just look like us. And I keep wondering through my travels how they distincting this, saying that we, ain't of them or we are different people, or how do they know that we're from the West?
The reason why they know they know we from the West is because they get the real story and we're getting his story. Again, when we go back and look at all the archives, none of the European history supports what the United States claim. It doesn't. It just don't. So
what African nation got a history of millions of people that got kidnapped? What African nation can teach their people that millions of their people got kidnapped?
I'm wondering why they don't.
And you never notice they have a record of every other living being that left a continent on a ship except for us.
But hold on. Yeah. Here's the thing about the African culture.
That's some doppelgangers.
Here's the thing about those people from that land over there called Africa. Their names tell you what tribes they're from. So you mean to tell me they know their tribes, they can trace their tribes all back to the beginning, but there is no history in that oral or written presentation about any of their tribal members being kidnapped and taken to America? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
A lot of okay. Remember what's his name? He was a tyrant. He was supposed to be like one of them tyrants in Africa. I don't know if it was for Liberia or Sierra Leone, or it was one of the countries like in between, right? But he said his bloodline came from Europe. I forgot his name. He
a real dark dude.
The The real dark dude, the real kind of
You
strong,
talking about
like,
Hold on, yeah.
oh, that was
Let
in
me
the
tell you
Congo.
something.
That was
Hold
in
on.
the Congo, I think. I think that was in the Congo. But
Yeah.
it was him in the Congo, right? And
Yeah.
he told him, he was like, my bloodline and a lot of his people that was there, he was like, our bloodlines are European. We come from Europe. We went to school in Europe. We learned everything we had to learn in Europe. We came here because our bloodlines are from Europe, and they was able to go to college in Europe completely free. Like they didn't have to pay for nothing because their bloodlines were from Europe, and they were excellent strategists of war
Mm-hmm.
because they learned all of that through Europe. That's like right now, my son's bloodline is from Muskogee Creek, but the Queen of England's bloodline ties into his bloodline because her cousin came over here and slept with one of the head chief's daughter, got her pregnant, so he got into the line.
Yep. That's how
So
they do it.
and that came from his grandmother told me that, and she's starting to pull up pictures of all these Muskogee Cree, right? One of the brothers put one up on Instagram. And I'm looking at my son, y'all. Like I'm looking at my son's face in black and white, or in that like dirty-ish looking color. And then I see other pictures of Muskogee, and I'm looking at all of them. They all got the same eyebrows, y'all. It's like some type of Felix the Cat sharp type eyebrow. You know what I'm saying? Or that little
Yeah.
curly top at the
Yeah,
eyebrow.
yeah.
Y'all
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about? It's
Yeah, I got a couple friends
distinctive
that got that
amongst those.
eyebrow. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's distinctive. And I'm looking at my son's face. I'm like, this is really starting to freak me out. It's starting to become incredible because it's like we are an actual people. And some of us are different tribes, and we got this beefs or whatever. But we are actual people. And people don't know about that. Like the Cherokee or the Cherokee, we wore locks. We wore dreadlocks. The reason why we walk with a swag and that limp that we do is to swing our hair. It's called the warrior walk, but people don't know about that.
Dropping
Or our
gems
head
right
is
now.
swinging. You see what I'm saying? The reason why we wear tattoos on our face, I ain't put no tattoos on my face and none of that. But the reason why we wore those tattoos is because we were warriors. Some of us, every kill that we get, every scalping that we get, we got a tattoo. You know what I'm saying? People don't know that. Guess what? We do that to this day. You see what I'm saying?
Just like I tell you.
And we do it to this day. And that's like when y'all talk about the cross. The reason why they converted us to Christianity is because we believe in the solstice, the changing of the weather, the changes of the season, the 4 seasons, the cross, north, south, east, west. Also links all the tribes together, from up, down, left, and right from the Americas. You know what I'm saying? That's why we was able to receive that. Oh wow, we recognize this. Oh, this is part of the winter solstice. Oh, this is part of us doing our trade routes up and down, left and right. That's why we like when you look at a compass, why that compass got the cross on it. People don't know about that joint. Oh, why does it have a cross on that joint? Well, each part of the world got a cross. Each 4 corners. Every part of the world. You know what I'm saying? And that's just me doing research, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I'm one of those guys. I love history. I believe that I should have been a history teacher. But I'm still learning, and y'all are teaching me so much. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm always willing to learn. Oh, and another thing, y'all, I'll let y'all know that I'm always up for correction. Okay, I will let you know I'm one of those guys because as a pro fighter, I'm stubborn, but you tell me something, I do it. You hear me? It's like one of those things. I believe that us building with each other, and hopefully we can get all these guys that don't know that they're teaching the wrong thing, get them on the right path. Like, go ahead, stop me, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Stop the sovereign citizenship thing. You know what I'm saying? If you're listening, let's just go ahead and stop it because you're joining hemming a lot of people up. And I'm going to let you know in D.C. right now, y'all remember that story when that dude went up in that lady's house in Georgetown? He tried to use that sovereign citizenship. They arrested him. Then he went back up in that joint, and then they arrested him, and he did something again. Him and that girl did something again, and now they in that joint now. They in there. You know what I'm saying? They ain't coming out for a while. You know what I'm saying? Y'all better watch ourselves, man. And I keep trying to tell everybody the reason why DC the way it is, because we got every single police officer, every single military, every single everything right here. It hits us first before it hits anybody else around the states. Any laws that get passed, it hit us first. You see what I'm saying? People don't know. But we can't handle guns really here. We gotta have special permission. So y'all better be careful, man. Don't. That's coming from me. Don't get caught up in the system, man. That's it. My bad, y'all. I ran it on again.
No, you good. You good, bro. You grand. You
I'm
grand.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. No, but we definitely appreciate you sharing, and
I see y'all.
that's the great thing about being able to talk to individuals and let them tell a story, because I would have never known that you were Muskogee Creek and that you
Oh
had
no, my son is Muskogee Creek.
your
I'm
son's Muskogee.
Cherokee.
Okay,
I'm Cherokee.
yeah,
And
my
my
bad.
dad is actually we're finding out his bloodline is Chickasaw, the Eastern. But it's weird because we're all kind of mixed with
Right,
different tribes. So you know what I'm saying? But you know how it is. You can only claim one, as they say.
right. So, but my point is had you not come on and told us that, we wouldn't have known. So now, because you're doing the research, you have somebody in your family that's doing the genealogy. You are now another point of reference to fact check, because it's one thing to read about the Cree. It's another thing to know somebody who is Cree or has access to somebody that's Cree, and that way we can ask questions to get a, a a verified viewpoint and get some facts. So that's the important part, because again, it's not about us trying to be right. We're trying to get it right. And the only way to get it right is actually talk to people who are part of those tribes. So we appreciate you.
Got to appreciate that, y'all. Appreciate that, and definitely come to DC, baby. Come check out the good go-go scene, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, we're
You
gonna
know
have to get up. We're gonna have to.
we got to, man, because they have they tried to do studies on go-go, then they tried to take it to Africa because of the cowbell or whatever. And they tried to do it, but now they're doing more research on the. I don't know if y'all ever heard of the bounce beat, but the actual bounce beat. If you really sit back and like listen to it, it'll tell you a whole story for itself. So by all means, y'all do some research on go-go, right? You know, obviously Chuck Brown, and let me tell y'all, Chuck Brown is from Nashville, Tennessee. He's from Tennessee. He wore his hair long. He wore gold. He was smooth. He played the blues. He did all that, and he owned land out here in Maryland, closer to Chesapeake or whatever. His family owns that land or whatever. He knew who he was. Y'all know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And you can tell in his family that he knew who he was.
Shout out to Chuck
He was
Brown.
from Chuck Brown, baby. He was definitely an indigenous influence, or an American native influenced this town, and the beat is getting closer and closer to its original sound, y'all. So do research on go-go, all right? And it's going to let you know a lot of history and what it's transforming into right now to this day. It's actually starting to go back to its original, the original beat of the beat that we did here in the Americas. So, and I leave y'all with that, June and Grand Rising. I love y'all. I'll probably hit y'all up in, next week or so.
Okay.
See you on the chat.
All right.
Y'all be safe
Shout out to
man.
Mike. Shout out Mike Easton.
I
Yeah.
appreciate y'all, man. I want to talk to y'all too about some businesses, so I'm gonna call y'all up later about the business.
Please do. Please do.
All right, on this number.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
All right, bet.
It's
So I'm gonna hit y'all
wide
up later on.
Okay.
All right, I appreciate y'all. Love y'all, man. Y'all be safe. Peace to the chat.
All right.
All right,
Peace,
yo.
Mike.
Love you too, bro.
Peace.
And you.
Peace. Love you, Doodoo.
Man, that's what's up. Shout out to Mike Easton. Hey, you know what's sad? You know what's sad, Bones?
What did
Mike.
he use the number and the number work?
No. Mike and No Sellout will connect before me and No Sellout. Because No Sellout
Come
is
on,
always driving
man.
past where I live. Them
My
Bama's
second home is DC, not Woodbridge.
Look. Them Bama's will actually be in a daggone museum, and I get a call from No Sellout while he on his way home.
No, I wouldn't
After
do
he's
that.
passed,
I wouldn't do that
after
to you.
he's passed my address, TMH. Yo, I was just in your area. Don't do that.
I wouldn't do that, yo. Look, I swear, look. Honestly, if I ran into him, that'd be one thing. But I wouldn't plan nothing around Woodbridge.
No,
That'd be
you
messed
wouldn't.
up.
No, you wouldn't plan it around. But how many times have you passed my exit?
It's been like okay, it's been a lot. You know, the family in the bar, they sleep.
You know
They
it's
gotta
big
stop
when the
in
number is
Woodbridge.
okay. It's big when the number is okay.
Yeah, it's in double digits at that point.
It's okay.
My bad, Tim, mate. We're gonna get up.
No, it's all right, man. It's all right.
When you come to Hampton, I'll meet you in Hampton. You'll never come back down this way. You're a hater. You're a hater because it's Moortown. It's Moorland.
Well, my daughter was at the house yesterday, so I gotta go down there and help her with some stuff, with some of the community stuff. So it'll be within the next couple of months.
There it is. But you know what? I'll come up there more often in the next couple of months. So I'll see if I can see you before then. My bad. We
gotta go to the American Indian Museum when you come back.
Yeah, I think we should all plan that little group visit since we hating on the one across the street.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go ahead and do the salutations and get up out of here, man. Cause this why do they feel like Friday to me? But it's Thursday.
Yesterday felt like Friday to me too, and today feels
It's
like
free
Friday.
Friday.
Wait, what?
It's free.
Come on now, it's for Friday.
What's today?
Today's Thursday.
Look, she sound like Ezel. Today your birthday? What's today?
It's Friday.
She's like, wait. What's today? Today's Thursday, Kathy. It's Thursday. Why is she laughing like she
I
guilty?
missed the whole day.
You missed the whole day?
I did.
She thought yesterday was
Friday.
She thought yesterday was Thursday.
Oh, I didn't even know what yesterday was. I just thought today was Friday.
Yeah. Wow. So you didn't miss it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So with that note, forget today. You go ahead. Give your salutations to the people.
Well, I want to, yeah, I can do that. But I wanted to talk about the maps real quick. I got a question.
You want to talk about what maps?
The world maps.
Okay, go ahead.
So I think they're really, really off.
Oh yeah. You really want to get into that, Gabby? Because I got a flat Earth map you should see.
I actually want to see it, and here's why. I've pulled up maps I went on a couple of, I guess, European websites. So there's land masses on other countries' maps that aren't on the maps that I've been seeing within what is this, North America's Google? On the West Coast side of North America. And are there two Antarcticas? Is it one landmass or two separate landmasses?
So yeah, this is not something we'll be able to cover today. That's basically almost a week build. Something that's going to be like 5 days. What you talking about?
Yeah, that ain't no slouch.
So yeah, there's a lot about this map and the continents that have been changed, rearranged, and messed up. So to answer your question, yes to all that. That's why there's certain countries that have united to create a no-fly zone over Antarctica.
And a no visit zone.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Admiral Byrd.
Okay, so I saw something about Admiral Byrd.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna be quiet.
You gonna tell us what you saw? Or you just gonna leave us hanging like doodle video?
So
No,
like
just
it
leave
was
it
a
alone, Gabby.
whole it was, I guess, an agreement between, I don't want to botch this up because I've already gotten off.
Leave it alone. They gonna come get
But
it.
it was between the United States, Germany, it was like 4 different countries
Mm-hmm.
that built a military base
Mm-hmm.
all together.
Mhm.
And basically that area, I guess to that point, is a restricted area, and some of the things that they were describing that they saw like the what's it called, the you know when the sky lights up in
Aurora Borealis. You talking about the Aurora Borealis? Is that what you're talking
say
You made her freeze up.
about? I know, right?
when you see the northern lights.
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Okay.
It's an Aurora Borealis.
Why is it called that?
Because somebody named it. I don't know.
Gabby like that 4-year-old. One question leads to 444 questions.
Why?
And
I got a
30
question.
parts.
Be like, I got a question. No, you don't. You have questions.
Yeah, don't
No,
even lie.
one question. One question and 100 parts.
1,000 parts. Well, today is 1,000 parts. Yesterday was 150.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Antarctica is 2 different land masses, right?
We are not going to confirm or deny that right now.
Okay, and are there land masses that possibly are the size of Australia on basically the West Coast,
You are
past
asking.
Hawaii, Honolulu?
These are
Past
rhetorical
Hawaii.
questions.
Why do you think a plane has to fly anywhere between 15 to 30,000 feet? What can you not
Asking me why
see?
do I think
Yeah, what can you not see at 15 to 30,000 feet?
The
land?
ground.
Land.
Okay, so that should tell you something right there.
Has anybody ever tried to track flights over a certain body of water and seen them drop off in this app?
Mhm.
Man, can we not get into this conversation right now? This is a night build.
Yeah, this
Well,
song.
okay, so here's the thing. It was,
Gabby's hard.
and this is, huh?
None.
She sound like Bro Sanchez. Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Go ahead, Gabby. What you got?
So it was what did I read when it was talking about on the coast of the Caribbean? It was describing where they were coming from going to the Caribbeans, but it didn't make sense because when I looked on the maps to see, okay, Bones did say I wasn't going to see what I was looking for. Because I wasn't seeing what I was looking for.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, that's different.
Oh, that's my shadow. You know I was going there. Oh, that was different. That is my shadow.
Oh no.
Oh no. Hey. What we doing? What we doing? Because you didn't see what you was gonna be looking for. You was looking for it anyway, and then when you didn't find it, what happened?
I saw other land masses that were actually on maps, and on maps that are coming from, I went on websites that are in other countries, and they have different maps from the maps that I've been seeing.
See how that work?
Right, but you're just stating the obvious. I'm really asking a question.
I wonder where I get that from.
Gabby Givens.
Oh, that is not how I talk. That is not what I do.
That's not how you talk, but that's what you say. What you doing? What you looking at? What you be like? What you doing? What you looking at? The screen. That's obvious. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's different.
What you doing,
That's different. That's different. Oh, that's different. Oh, okay.
Different.
Oh, she said it herself. Oh, that was different.
That's different.
Okay.
What about the time he tried to choke me in Smoke's backyard?
Oh, that was different.
Oh, that was different. Oh, really? Okay. Man, let's jump.
Go ahead, Gabby. What you got?
A question.
Yeah. What's the question?
Are there land masses on the West Coast in the Pacific Ocean aside from the islands? specifically Hawaii, Honolulu, Samoa, like the size of Australia, possibly Australia.
That's possible. That's possible. I don't have anything to point you to or direct you to right now. That would be a question that maybe Choctaw Jimmy would be able to answer.
That's a whole week build.
That's what I said, but you can't tell Gabby nothing because Gabby gonna do what Gabby gonna do.
You can tell me a lot of things.
And that don't mean you. That don't mean you gonna listen.
I don't think you understand what I'm seeing.
Gabby, no one knows what you're seeing because we can't see what you can see. Heavy D in the board. Shout out to Heavy D.
This is Lee.
My diddly.
Where'd she go?
Yeah, where did she go?
Come on, Gabby Givens, where you at?
She talking some who? She's the only female on the panel.
Woodsy, in the city or in the woods? Come on.
What?
Really? You gonna do your salutations?
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm sorry.
She had an attitude. What?
I didn't know what you.
Don't you see how busy over here? David Corey says, hold up, don't talk to Gabby like that.
Hush, thank you, David Corey.
Gabby, okay. Salutations. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, this is what I got. Thank you, No Sellout. Shout out to No Sellout for helping me with this. Reaching our goals. A goal without a plan is just a wish. Life is an adventure in forgiveness. Creating ourselves. The self is not something ready-made, but something in continuous formation through choice of action. Avoiding cynicism. Never be a cynic, even a gentle one. Never help out a sneer, even at the devil. Courage is a ladder on which all other virtues mount. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. And lastly, people seem not to see that their opinion of the world is also a confession of their character.
That's what's up. Shout out to the remnant.
Peace to the panel. Peace to the chat.
Peace to the silent majority. Yeah.
Peace to the silent majority. We need each other. We definitely need each other.
And Gabby needs to stop. Today. And Gabby needs to stop asking so many questions. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I can't help it. Dang it! Don't give me a brain.
You just never mind. Go ahead.
I'm just saying. I'm gonna ask questions.
Don't give me no gun. Yeah. Don't give me no brain.
Well, okay. I do my best. No, I can't say that. Nope.
Don't even attempt that lie. Don't even do that.
Yeah, I thought about it. Nope. But yeah, peace to everyone. Peace, blessings, love, compassion, forgiveness, truthfulness, honesty, humbleness. Yeah. Have a wonderful, beautiful day.
That's what's up. What you got, No Sellout?
Nothing.
Not only did you come on an hour and 45 minutes late, then you got
Hey. You don't even know.
I do know.
I went through this ride, and I ain't even talking about that. Anyway, shout out to Mikey. Appreciate you for calling through. I saw that 202, and I thought it was yes. I thought that was somebody else. I was like, wait a minute,
Ooh.
why are y'all entertaining this fool? But it was not that fool. It was
Hey,
Mike Easton,
you thought
a
it was
great
a
man.
you thought it was a you thought it was a creep in the creek. That's what you thought it was.
It was a pause. It was a
Mhm.
pause. It sounded like the same routine. Press *6 to unmute yourself. I was
Oh, that
like,
happened. That happened too.
yeah. TMH
Because
said,
all I saw was the 202. I was like, hold up.
I saw the 202. Then it was quietness. Then TMH said, press *6 to unmute yourself. And I was like, oh no, this is like deja vu.
Here we go again. Man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. It's *6. But no, shout out to the chat. Shout out to Mike Easton. Shout out to anybody who calls that number because it works.
Over and over and over and over.
Thank y'all for coming out. God bless. Good night.
Choctaw Jimmy, James Flames, aka Doodle Vision. What's going on, brother? What you got for us, man?
Been another hot one today. I appreciate everyone in the chat, the best chat in the universe, in the cosmos. Keep doing what you're doing. Shout out to Mike Easton, the former quarterback of the New England Patriots. Not to be confused, don't say his sister is Sheena Easton, Sugar Walls. Y'all know nothing about all that Sugar Walls in print. Oh, man. And again, I got to say, hey, shout out to Nappy Root Word. I know you out there listening, man. Yeah, sitting at the dock of the bay. Nappy Root Words, where you at, man? Where are you? Oh, man.
Y'all some haters, bro.
Shout out to, man, Puss in Boots. Man, I know you out there somewhere, man. Did they catch you, man? You hanging out with Zorro. What's going on, Puss in Boots? Come on back, man. You're in the mariachi. You don't join the mariachi band or something, man. What's going on with Puss in Boots, man? I know you be listening, Puss in Boots. Come on back, man. We miss you, man. Come on back, son. Oh, man. I appreciate the whole panel for joining me last night. I definitely appreciate you all. I've had more than you will ever know. Thomas was over there getting that switchboard. They didn't even know what was happening. Oh, man. Sister Gabrielle Yulia, she's like, what in the world is going on? I didn't push that. I'm not reading that. Because he came out like, bam. And then all of a sudden, we were sharing screens. Make sure, by all means, you do your homework. You do your homework at 75% of your grade. So y'all got kids trying to take semester exams and all the rest of that stuff. 75% of your grade is doing your homework. Find out who you are. Do your genealogy. Man, the brother no sellout. Always running up and down. I-95. Going 95. Following behind the state troopers. Oh, man. Still a man, Bones back there. Like I say again, y'all just don't know. When he put it all together, y'all think, man, why he so quiet back there? Because he's operating back there. Also, shout out, Copper Indio. Man, Copper Indio, I'm telling y'all, he crushing windpipe. Y'all better be paying attention. Stop sleeping. Brother Carrie Bay, I know you out there. I know you somewhere out there, man. Keep building what you're building. I'll tell y'all, need to stop by. Find out. Y'all need something built. Y'all better go talk to Brother Carrie Bay. I'm telling y'all, the carpenter's son. Oh, Sister Gabrielle Union, what can I say? What can I say? Put those books down. Put them down. Put them down. And for those that don't know, now you know. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Before I go, I got to give a shout out. I got to give a shout out to Mike Bivens. Mike Bivens. He's always talking about those pumps and rubbing it down with baby oil and baby oil cheeks. Hey, man, give your granny her wrap back. Stop playing. Stop playing. Give her wrap back and her turkey feathers. Come on, son. With all that, I'm peeked out, just like a runaway slave, and I'm out. Wide out.
Put them down.
Hang them books up.
Hang them up. Put them down. Hang them up.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
You suck at trying. Stop
I
trying.
know to try is to fail, and I can't help it.
She
Y'all
can't
get to
have.
saying stuff. I'll be like, hold on. I know I read this in a book. Start snatching. I got like 20 books around me every week, every day, listening. I'm like, wait a minute. I got a book for that. I know I do. I read it. I remember.
Cool. It's always a pleasure. It's always fun. I don't know what I gotta do to unbreak the music. I broke the station. My bad, Bones. I didn't mean to break it.
Ooh,
Shut up. If I put you in timeout in ISS,
that's not even fair. I ain't even do nothing.
you over there sound like a ghost.
You always picking on me. I ain't even do
Think
nothing.
you tough. We didn't even do nothing.
I don't care. I don't care. You can mute me all you want.
You sure?
You can mute me all you.
You
Why
see
she
how that
answer so fast?
Cause
And with the opposite of what she was saying.
I know. You can mute me all
You know
you
what?
want.
I'm telling Britt and Pamela Hall.
Really?
He just pulled a Bernie Mac. You better not tell.
Stop playing. I don't even like you. I don't even like you.
That's okay. I love you,
Oh, I
Gabby.
wish I could push you into sticker bushes right now. Oh my goodness. I just want to push you down in some sticker bushes.
So I unmuted you just to hear you say that? Come on, man.
Really? Stop playing.
At least I didn't put you in another room with your name on it.
She said stop playing through her teeth. She hit you with the big worm. Smokey, that's $100. Stop playing with me. TMH, that's my mute button. Stop playing with me.
Shout out and peace to the silent majority.
My mute button, TMH.
I'm doing my salutations. Do you want me to let you?
Go ahead and salivate.
She had letters and syllables.
Peace to the channel. Peace to the chat. Peace to the panel. When I say channel, peace to the chat.
Peace to the channel.
Peace to the channel. Peace to the channel. Which is the chat. That's the chat and the panel simultaneously. It's a new word. It's a compound word with no syllables.
What's the acronym for that?
Don't do that. You know what the acronym for that is?
No, stop.
Man, I felt the hand go down on that mute button almost. You feel that energy? It was heavy. Diddly.
So hopefully this information you learned today is going to help you with your genealogy. You learn a little bit more about La Malinche, the harlot that James Flames always talked about. Understanding how everything ties in, and even history is admitting that there are multiple versions of the conquistadors coming over here in the form of Spaniards. So that means there's multiple versions or multiple narratives of the time span, which does not match or add up. And 1492 is a farce. So with that, peace, love, and much respect to everybody. And we look forward to speaking with y'all Friday. And if not, and if James does a bill tonight, then stay tuned for that. Y'all got some homework. So if I was y'all, I would go on the forum and start reading up, because he be dropping them bombs, because he talking about the Navy, Chichen Itza. Stop playing. It's not a game. This is real. This is our ancestry. This is our history. These are the Indians that ain't nobody else talking about. So these are the Indians that ain't nobody else talking about, and I'm gonna say that ain't nobody else talking about the Chichen Itza. So let's get it in. With that, I'm gonna turn
I
it
got a
on.
question.
And I got a question too. So you said 1492 is a farce. Does that mean the ocean was not blue?
The ocean is nothing more than a reflection of the sky. Next question.
I got ocean water and it's clear.
I seen an experiment with ocean water to see how much Himalayan pink salt you can get up out of it, but no, never mind. I talk about it after the show.
Do y'all want me to put both of y'all in the ISS room? You know,
I was seeing how long it was gonna take.
I'm gonna create an ISS room, and I'm gonna put both of y'all in there. I'm gonna put y'all in separate closets in the same room. How about that?
That's messed up.
Ain't nobody trying to be like.
She just beat us up. You heard her. She's like,
I was thinking R. Smelly, so
she's stuck in the closet. She can't come out of the closet. Anyway, I'm gone. I'm going on mute. Bones H. McCoy, take it away.
All right, TMH. I thank TMH, No Sellout, Dabby, Through Vision, Copper Indio, LJ Free, David Corey, all the members of the chat that's active, every rising, and the ones that's listening. Because it takes all of us to make this show what it is. And on that note, this energy that I know that we all feel when we get together, going into next year, let's make sure that when it feels a little rough, it gets a little dark, let's remember this energy here. And let's use this energy to pull ourselves to where we need to be. We don't got to wait on nobody relatives. We got the answer. We got multiple solutions. All we have to start doing now is applying ourselves. Apply ourselves and fix our conditions, fix our families, fix our neighborhoods. And on that note, everyone continue to have a very, very blissful day. Take some time out, do your genealogy. Again, know your community, know your neighbors, know your local politicians. Find out what you can do today to affect change for tomorrow. And until the next Rising Show, remember we love you and peace.
Gonna recognize today. Gonna address all the haters later on. Okay? Peace, y'all.
Peace, everybody.
Warning, warning, warning. Hard hats, pickaxe, shovels, boots required.